rate us. And I'm like, oh shit, I should probably do that. At least, I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll like
Do it.
everybody that is normally in our live chat is at Embers right now. So
Oh, jeez.
Bree! I'm sorry.
What
It's
the actual
D.
fuck?
Hey.
Let's see. I gotta get things close together. So I am. Where the fuck are you? Okay, you're down here. All right. Maybe what I'll do is just put these in another. Move tab to new window. That.
Hey, Bree.
Hey, Bree. Move tab.
Hello.
Hello.
It's like, I don't know. How you doing, Bree?
Doing all right. Are we holding off because Ember's still alive?
No. Steph is going to share the video so I can focus on chat because, you know, I'm here for the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Kill him. Kill Ember.
Okie dokie.
Down with Ember.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
Steph, all right, come on. We got to.
Yeah.
We're doing it.
All right.
There we go. Perfect.
All right.
So yeah, we got everybody. Look, yeah, I don't know. Like part of me is just like I don't care if I ever get monetized. Another part of me is just like I would love to raid my friends.
Right.
But no, I started all this after my divorce when I was just like I'm so tired of being surrounded by assholes. I just want to be surrounded by people I love and
non-assholes.
Non-assholes, like they're the best, aren't they? Though.
They are.
The alternative is assholes. So.
Are we?
Right.
Yeah.
And fuck those guys.
It's a true dichotomy.
All of you. I'm sorry, what happened?
Huh? Oh, it's a true dichotomy. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we have to mute the YouTube stream because we opened the YouTube.
Yeah.
Okay, now we're good.
We're getting there.
All right, Pinworm, I don't know if I've seen you here before, but welcome. Oh yeah, so let's see, a couple of things. I think I told I don't know. Bree knows I'm very open about my esoteric past, and I was saying in Ember's chat to Native that Bree and I actually have a stream on her channel. I think it was one of your Halloween streams, and we were talking about witches, and we were talking about how I don't know things that we used to think and do and believe, and all of the things back in our esoteric days. Let's see, I didn't know Neil had tarot cards, and Ember has tarot cards. That's so cool.
Tarot was never one of the things I was big into. I did have rune stones though. Like a little bag of rune stones.
I know a lot of people with rune stones. Most of my friends had rocks, or I don't know, we just called them rocks, but like the things, rose quartz and tiger eye and tourmaline and selenite and all the things. I could just throw out a random rock name, and I have a friend that can tell you all of its properties and all the stuff it's supposed to do for you, like what do you call it? Spiritually. For me, a lot of people, I don't know. I never really took anything as a what do you call it? Magic. I didn't believe in magic. For me, meditating was more of like meditating with rocks was more okay. Rose quartz is supposed to have properties of love. You're supposed to feel lighter and happier, whatever the thing was. It wasn't I don't know. It wasn't like there's special love magic in rocks, and if you keep this thing in your pocket, it'll bring you eternal love, or the one, or any of that stuff. Oh my God. Speaking of like all the love, Beck, how are you?
Oh, hey.
Hey, Beck.
Oh, hi.
Hello, beautiful people. How are you guys?
I'm
Oh,
awesome.
wow. Hey, Beck.
Doing
I'm
well.
surrounded by all of my friends. Look at all my friends. They're here to support me.
Where the hell's Weasel?
Weasel's
I'm at steps.
I see that.
It's Weasel.
we're in a boat.
That's the Weasel. He's
in
going
the-
to go pop
in the
his
land
head.
of everlasting sunshine.
The weasel went pop, and Steph had to go out to sea to catch it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I want to say like thank you, Ember, for bringing all of my bestest friends by, and I want to say go sub to Ember, but I'm pretty sure if you're in this chat, you already are.
Good bet.
But yeah, you could also sub to Steph, and I mean, you could ostensibly sub to Dr. Tapiocaweasel, but he doesn't have any content. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. Obligatory every stream. Plug there.
Every single time, you just gotta grind the gears. That's the way it goes.
Mark Reed has a channel, and he's pretty awesome. When he's not up against Bree, he is kicking ass. We love it. We love it.
Hello, Miss Bree. How are you?
I am well. I hope you are well too, Mr.
I'm great.
Beck.
Except my AC got hot and it's shut off, so I'm kind of sweating my ass off right now. But otherwise, I'm all right.
Cool.
Hence the lack of clothes.
All right. So this video, it's about. All right. Well, it's from Future Utility, and so for us to use it, they are saying we have to follow all fair use rules and regulations. So we can't let it go on too long, and so it should fill out all 2 hours. But also we have to do the fair use stuff. So we can't make fun of them, which means we're just going to have to go hard on them. I'm sorry.
We won't make fun of them. We'll just be honest.
Yeah, no, we are not going to make fun. We are. They're saying that they have proof of aliens in Antarctica, and we are here to see if they deliver.
Well, we'll find out by 2030 because there's not going to be much ice left.
Before we get too,
and there's
that. I just want to point out that you can see. I think scroll down a little bit there. It's like.
The almost 1 million subs.
This video has 593,000 views.
Reviews, yeah. Oh yeah, both.
And the Future Unity channel is very, very popular. Future Unity channel.
The video I put up, it was Antarctica too. We're gonna
it has 865,000 subscribers, and they're pretty pretty prolific. 975 videos. So that's this we're not talking. We're not talking cheap seats here.
What about the one that scared the hell out of Elon Musk? I feel like we should watch that one at some point.
You guys want to know?
A lot of things scare Elon Musk. His daughter, starting with his daughter, she scares him.
Yeah.
Do you guys want to know an interesting fact about Antarctica?
Sure.
Right now it is the peak of the winter season, and it's all cold and blustery. And all those emperor penguins right now, the male emperor penguins, are sitting on an egg in the middle of a blizzardy wasteland for about a month.
Yeah,
freezing their feathers off.
Mm-hmm. Is that what they're calling it these days?
No, these days we're calling them woke penguins.
They seem to like it, so but it's getting less and less.
Well, they better get used to tropical weather soon.
Yeah. Ever the optimist, Beck. Ever the optimist.
Oh, I'm just bluntly honest, Steph.
Realist.
Okay, so this video apparently there are this is a discovery of ancient aliens as revealed by Joe Rogan,
the great thinker of our time.
Oh yeah,
he's like the Plato of our generation.
So prolific.
since we're unable to watch the entire video for various reasons, and we're not going to.
No. You can watch the entire video. You just can't play it for too long because then it's excellent content. We just have to make sure that we're stopping
about every 2 minutes.
Every few minutes.
Oh yeah. Oh, don't worry. You know us. We stop every 15 seconds. Yeah. It's a 24-minute video, and we're going to fill up 2 hours of the channel with it. So here we go. But yeah. All right. Oh, I've got the thing muted, so I better unmute it.
Scroll up. I think it's audacious for them to warn us about it when Netflix has a watermark in 2 locations.
Yeah, I was scratching my head. It's like, wait a minute.
Yep.
So, also in the video there is a clip from Stargate SG-1. Not too many spoilers here. Stargate SG-1 shows up. I believe the 10 Commandments. Clip from the 10 Commandments shows up. It's a great production, and my hats off to the production values here. This is why they have 865,000 subscribers, and I don't.
Right.
But anyway, are you ready? Are you ready?
I am ready.
I was born ready.
Sweet, Bree.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm doing it.
Of the strangest places on the face of the earth, the continent has always been a mystery to many, particularly because it's so secluded. One of the coldest places on Earth, Antarctica, is also among the most sparsely populated regions of the world. Despite the fact that it has a landmass of about 13.66 million square kilometers, less than 10,000 people live here. In fact, most of the people who stay are actually scientists and researchers. I mean, who knows what those guys could be looking for? Regardless, the mystery...
Can I just say that narwhals don't live in the southern hemisphere at all?
We were just wondering, and
we were like, are we going to see pictures of polar bears next? Like,
all right.
I'm hoping kangaroos.
I mean, that would make more sense.
That's the next continent over. It's like at least on one side of the of the Southern Ocean. By the way, the Southern Ocean. A small digression here. The Southern Ocean are the waters that go around Antarctica, and it's the only place on the planet where you can sail around the globe. Literally, I mean, if you circumnavigate Antarctica, there's no land in the way. There's the southern tip of South America, and Cape Horn, and Tasmania, and that's it. And the Southern Ocean has constant circulation of wind at very high speed. Yeah. It has incredible waves, and if you ever want to see some absolutely spectacular sailing footage in very extreme conditions, check out the Ocean Race or something like that. Because once those folks hit the Southern Ocean, things get very exciting. So there you go. A little bit of sailing. Had to throw it in. And by the way, that's copywritten. So in case anybody, I credit Stephanie Helms.
The history surrounding Antarctica has been extensive. Many people have done their best to uncover its secrets, but despite their best efforts, there is just so much that we still don't know about it. Over the past few years, however, Joe Rogan, arguably the most popular podcast host in the world, has done several deep dives into Antarctica and the continent's possible history. And I must...
There's a pyramid. I see it.
That was Joe Rogan's boat, by the way, everybody. It's like that the little putt-putt. Notice that? Like, wait. I just got to go back. Hold on a second.
Say his findings have been... They still don't know about it. Over the past few years, however, Joe Rogan, arguably the most popular podcast host in the world, has done several deep dives into Antarctica and the continent's possible history.
What is up
I
with the
must say
fucking
his
smoke
findings
coming
have
out of the
been
back of that boat?
crazy.
Oh, that is
In this
interesting.
video, we'll be exploring Joe's discoveries
It's got
about
sails on it,
Antarctica,
I have no idea.
as well as the continent's possible links to an ancient civilization that might have existed long before we ever came along.
Long before we ever came along. I'm
Graham
sure
Hancock
he is
and
going
the
to
ancient
throw in lots
civilization
of
theory.
citations.
When it comes to
Hold on.
discovering
No, I'm saying, well, he said that we're going to discover, what is it? Something he just says is stupid. But I'm like, I'm so sure that part of this discovery is going to entail tons of citation because you wouldn't want to just make claims and not, state what you're referencing.
No, you wouldn't
Who
want to
would
make
do such a thing?
Because we're going to prove it. And you can't prove anything without, stating your sources.
Hold on.
Unless they're actually going to go to Antarctica with a camera and show and film the aliens and them like dancing and talking and, whatever with it. So we get like first hand sources with aliens.
Mm-hmm.
So those would be like two ways. You'd either have to cite your sources or actually like show your face next to an alien.
Now,
yeah, when did Rogan start talking about
looking at-
science stuff?
So Rogan loves pseudoscience stuff. Has for quite a while.
See, that's how much I avoid him. I didn't know.
Yeah. I only know about this because of all the news shows I watch that like to make fun of him.
all right.
Yeah, then this shot of the Mediterranean is pointlessly flipped. East and west are flipped on this
Why?
because they hate us, and yeah, it does accentuate how horizontal Italy really is. Though you normally think of it, at least I normally think of it as being more up and down, like north south.
Well, yeah, because that's what they show us on the map. But
You know what I think?
Yeah.
I think this is a nod to Joe Rogan and DMT.
Yeah,
I think this is. I think that what we're looking at here is opening the gates of your mind. Cleansing.
That sounds like a good idea.
If the doors of perception were cleansed, everyone would see things as they are.
as Joe Rogan sees them.
Well, with the ayahuasca, yeah. Absolutely. Anyway,
secrets about the
this does have this. Although we are focusing on the Antarctica, we also managed to explore the appropriately described the Amazon. So hold on to your hats.
the Earth and possible ancient civilizations, Joe Rogan has been pretty interested. The podcaster has spent a lot of his time interviewing experts who have shared different theories about anomalies discovered all across our planet, and one man who has been particularly vocal about this is Graham Hancock.
All right.
Graham is a British journalist, right?
Graham Hancock. I mean, we're playing a little fast and loose with the term expert, though.
A little. Yeah.
He's a British.
But he said he was.
He did say that.
It's on the internet. It's got to be true, Maya.
This is true. We went over this ad nauseum last week, so
Okay.
A researcher who has spent the better part of 3 decades.
He's a reporter, a British journalist. I don't believe you need to have a PhD to be a journalist.
you
don't
don't
need
need that.
Have a PhD, but
Most of them don't.
I think an associate would be fine.
Researching proof of possible ancient civilizations around the world. He's written different books on the subject as well, gathering archaeological evidence all over. On an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Graham showed significant proof that Antarctica could be linked to an ancient civilization that could have walked the Earth millennia ago and left us clues. So here's a quick backstory about Antarctica. According to most sources, the continent was discovered in January 1820. At the time, an explorer named Thaddeus von Bellingshausen discovered the continent, describing it as an ice shore of extreme height. Thaddeus had been on an expedition where he explored different
Ice
lands
wall.
around the Antarctic,
wall.
and he
Yup.
apparently found the continent. But there are arguments about this fact. For instance, sources confirmed that around the same time Thaddeus found this ice shore, Edward Bransfield, an officer with the Royal Navy, also reported seeing high mountains covered with snow while on a British mapping trip around the area. There are also those who...
Well, I mean, good thing there aren't high mountains covered in snow anywhere else.
No, only there. Only there. I've never seen them anywhere else. I've been all over the U.S. I've never seen them. Nope.
Sangre de Cristo, right by you. It's like there's one. But yeah, it just strikes me that Antarctica is, I think it was described as the Antarctica.
Yes.
Not the imposter Antarctica, the one.
No,
the
I
real
mean, look at the title:
Yeah.
"Sudden Discovery of Ancient Aliens in the Antarctica." Yeah.
Well, the real Antarctica, as was described fairly and accurately at the of this very informative podcast,
Well,
is
no,
a
no, no, no.
fucking continent, for Christ's sake. It
Yeah,
goes
it's
to
a
the
continent.
plate tectonics, and things go boom, and the mountains go up, and then there were like valleys and hills and shit.
Wow, really?
You know, yeah, no kidding. Just like I don't know. Well, Australia doesn't have a hell of a lot of mountains, which is kind of weird. But
It's kind of weird.
No,
But
neither does Ohio, but
The
whatever.
Blue Mountains. And
yeah.
I mean, but did Atlantis have
Jesus.
hills and mountains?
It was pretty flat, I believe, from the
Hmm.
fake pictures that they show you.
They had a lot of sinkhole problems, is my understanding.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, the board
Believe
of
it.
public works wasn't really up to the task.
Code.
They're on strike.
Captain James Cook, another British explorer, had been the first to find Antarctica.
Is that the ice wall?
He's
That's
a
a small one. That's
British
nothing.
explorer, not a journalist.
Cook and a team spent 3 years looking for the continent, traveling between 1772 to 1775. However, while they did make it into the Antarctic Circle, they reportedly called it quits after they failed to find any actual land. Regardless of what you believe, the history books do record that Antarctica was officially first discovered in the early 1800s. However, Graham Hancock has come out hard to dispute this theory, and on the Joe Rogan Experience, he gave some pretty impressive proof. To begin with, Graham shares a theory about the famous Bimini Road in the Bahamas.
Oh my
For
God.
those who might not know it, Bimini Road is a rock formation that's buried underwater.
A
It was
rock
discovered close to
formation.
It is,
North Bimini
yeah,
Islands in the
period.
Bahamas and
Like,
consists
if
of
you've
a
ever seen,
northeast south.
if you've ever seen, like, I've seen pictures of the Bimini Road, and it is a stretch to call it a road.
Hi, Neil.
Yeah.
Well,
Hey, Neil.
there's
Amber.
the Giant's Causeway in Ireland, and clearly that was
was
built by Jesus for the Nephilim.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was Nephilim made, like Stonehenge.
Well, yeah, I could see the Nephilim making Stonehenge, except we attribute Stonehenge to white people, so that actually happened.
Well, the Atlanteans,
that's
the
different,
people who
Maya.
built these roads built Stonehenge, though. Atlanteans built Stonehenge and the pyramids.
Yeah.
No, just the pyramid. Only the stuff that the brown people made. So, like the pyramids, like, in Africa and South Africa, aliens.
Mesoamerica.
Stonehenge, super intelligent white people. I mean, which is an oxymoron, because, like, obviously, I mean, it's an oxymoron. It's just axiomatic, right? Like, you don't even need. You don't
gotta
even need
remember,
the word
everybody.
Like, yeah.
You got to remember that white
Remember,
people
everybody,
have
98% of
super-
the population is under IQ of 130. Just saying.
You gotta keep in mind that white people also have secret Atlantean blood. That's why our skin's so white.
Yeah, and that's why
that what it is?
the true white people have to live inside the earth, because the sun just can't tolerate it.
Right.
What's funny is I don't recall where I read this saying that according to some source whatsoever, some out there somewhere, the original inhabitants of the British Isles seem to have been folks, by virtue of analysis of their DNA and the genes that are in there and all of that stuff, they seem to have dark skin and blue eyes.
Hmm.
An interesting thing.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I think it's
When
pretty
I have
cool.
a tan and I dye my hair black, I get so many comments on my eyes. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, no, dark hair will make your eyes pop.
Oh yeah.
Yours,
Timer
not mine.
at the moment.
How do you know? Maybe that's my opinion.
All right. True.
Southwest linear feature that spans about 0.8 kilometers. For that stretch, all you see are rectangular limestone blocks.
This ancient formation has caused a number of heated debates between academically funded scientific individuals and keen self-funded enthusiasts. The road is nearly a kilometer long.
So far, Bimini Road has caused a lot of arguments. Some claim the rocks are natural formations, but Graham doesn't believe so.
The Bimini Road, it's not even very deep. It's only about 20 feet deep. It was one of the last things to be covered by Ice Age sea level rise, and that's why we show a graphic, a reconstruction of it above water. It's made of extremely regular blocks, megalithic blocks, on a very large scale, more than 1,000 feet in length. When you dive on it, and I've dived on it multiple times, and I went back to diving in order to dive on it again in this series. It's impossible to believe that it's entirely a work of nature, and
it's impossible to believe.
Yeah, incredulity. Arguments of incredulity. Who's got that on their bingo card?
Right. I'm sorry.
Because reasons.
Yeah.
That's why it's impossible.
A marine biologist there with me who's dived all over the world, and he agreed with me that there's just no way that this thing can be explained as a totally natural phenomenon.
Can we see it, Jeremy?
Graham also points out that while North Bimini is a pretty small island today, it was actually part of a much larger island centuries ago. He added that the island turns up on ancient maps, showing that it was much larger than what it is right now.
Wait, Steph, can you pause that for a second? I just kind of wanted to show like what we're talking about here. Like, can I like? Okay, this is probably better. Like, I don't know. Can you see this?
Yeah. Huh.
Like that's like these are the things that they're talking about. Like these are definitely like, you know.
Are some of them bricks too?
Let's see.
That middle picture right dead in the center. Yeah.
Like this?
Yeah, that one. They kind of look like cinder blocks on their side.
Yeah. But maybe it just is cinder blocks on their side.
I'd have to.
I mean, it could be because by now
I'd have to look into this. I mean, because
gone.
like if I tap on this, it'll make me go through a whole another thing I'll have to read. But I'm not. That's not usually the Bimini Road. The one when I've looked at it, it's looked like either like this.
Yeah, it's the big ones.
Or like this.
Okay.
Yeah, and you don't make ancient stone roads with enormous blocks. You use like regular sized blocks.
Seems like to me it would be more like a wall or a bridge.
Yeah, I mean you can get to
maybe it was a base
naturally.
for a bridge.
Maybe it was Jericho. Maybe this is the original site of Jericho and the wall fell down.
It's all coming together.
So I mean,
I meant a wall that got buried by silt, so you can only see the top of it.
Yeah, and there's a lot of
down like 15, 20 feet or something.
There actually is a lot of that because the ocean used to be a lot lower. So
yes.
I mean, just because there are structures, you know, on the ocean floor doesn't mean that they were made by aliens.
Yeah, no, and people would use rocks and wood and whatever they had around, you know, to create like walkways, bridges, you know, crossovers for vehicles eventually, but originally animals and carts and, you know.
Yeah, I mean, we know of a lot of land bridges. Like, you know, there apparently used to be one to get to Australia, to get to Sicily, to get to I don't know, just a number of places that are completely surrounded by water now, but the people at the
Yeah.
time would have walked there. I just read about one not too long ago in India, and they're like, at the time that the people, oh my gosh, it was something about there used to be like this really like elaborate or something like walkway that the people used, and then the water came and covered it up. But at the
Oh,
time,
okay.
it would have been,
I'm looking at the
exposed,
chat
and
here,
then
and I
there's
think
a time when your feet would have gotten a little wet, and then now it was totally immersed. And
Kind of like the Red Sea, right?
yeah,
I'm looking at the chat here, and I think of everybody. Thank you for coming and watching and all of this. But Neil has this
what's Neil
absolutely
doing?
nailed. No, first of all, Neil claims to have built Stonehenge, but I don't think so.
He's big enough. He could have picked him up.
Neil said he built Stonehenge. So, like, can you prove that he didn't?
But
we should therefore believe him. An apologist told me to think like that once.
Oh, that's the
I'm in Carrie.
post that caught my eye was that's a sleeping Godzilla, which that's I think that's in the spirit of investigative journalism.
Well, also throwing Graham into Mel's hole would also be in the spirit of investigative journalism.
It would be, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
We should
Yeah,
probably
let's see what
ask Mel,
happens.
but
yeah. Wait, which one's Mel?
have you? Paula G has been doing a series where he reacts to Art Bell's.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Mel's hole.
Mel's hole.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot all about that. Yeah. That's right. All right. We need to get back.
I just did a show on Mel's hole like two weeks ago, right?
He
Did
did.
you?
He did.
Yes, I did. No, I did.
You did. That's right. You did.
I'm sorry. 2 weeks ago it was moving. I am so sorry.
You're good.
I missed it too. I must have been high.
All right.
Next one.
What? Oh yeah, Joe Rogan's
wrong-
reveal.
wrong
Yeah,
time.
thank you so much. I'd be lost. I'd be lost without Tapiocaweasel sitting here.
Into is that on an ancient map, the famous Piri Reis map,
That's not how
drawn
that's
by a
spelled.
Turkish admiral in 1513, that Grand Bahama Banks as an above-water island is shown. It is featured on the Piri Reis map. And what do you see running down it but an image of the Bimini Road above water?
Piri
What?
Reis, the Ottoman explorer, and
Are we sure that happened?
When?
I don't
did he
know,
say
but I'd like.
this?
He's got a Gatling gun next to him. Look at that. So
I thought he said
That is a small
1500.
cannon, I
And
think.
the Bahamas were actually the first place that the 1492 guy found.
Columbus?
mhm.
Yeah,
I thought it was like
it was. Well,
Tahiti or
it's
something.
Santo Domingo, just like all of that.
Yeah.
But the first land sighted was the Bahamas. And then he just sort of, oh well, let's win. And then he turned around. And it's like, oh yeah, well, found the
BRB. Let me get some slaves.
yeah, seriously.
navigator who drew the map explained that he had based his drawings on
Again.
several older source maps he gathered throughout his
I love that
travels.
boat.
Most of these maps have now
Vessels
been
in
lost, but they served as inspiration
The
for his
16th
books.
century.
And Graham
did
believes
not
someone
have-
must have been mapping
You
the
gotta pause-
Earth
you gotta
during
pause
the
it.
Ice
Yeah,
Age
talk.
that left maps for us all
Yeah,
to see
I can't
just
hear
how the
both of you at
planet
once.
looked. But what do
I mean, again, the image of the galleon sailing across the ocean blue
With the puffs
with
of
the
steam
puffs
coming.
with the puffs of smoke coming out of its stern.
Yeah, I'm over it already. It's like the
It's like,
third time
what
we've
the-
seen it.
I know.
What does this all mean for
It's just
Antarctica?
an
Well,
inboard
according to
motor.
Graham, the big icy continent itself also appears on many of these ancient maps. The researcher explained that while conventional information claims that Antarctica was only first discovered in 1820, the continent was actually known to exist much earlier. How early, you ask? Well, how about the 1500s?
During the last
Okay,
ice age. One of the
pause
things
it
I
here,
find
real quick.
most striking
Pause
is the
it real quick.
presence of
Okay,
Antarctica
yeah.
on
Sorry.
ancient map.
Okay.
There you are.
You got to give
Well-
Steph like a 6-second warning, right?
Right.
So when
She's
it
got a
comes
lot going
to-
on here. I came in and ruined her setup, so
When it
I know
comes
you
Damn
did, you
it.
bastard. Go ahead, Bree.
when it comes to the age of exploration, like the 1500s, right? You got to think about that. Just because they didn't see the land there, that they didn't know based on the way that the currents were and the way that the tides moved, the way that the stars moved, where the land masses were on the even if they've never seen Antarctica, that there was something down there that was pushing the flow around the Southern Ocean.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's not unheard of that they would have known that, or not. I shouldn't say not unheard of. It's not like they didn't have to see Antarctica to make that inference.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they're planets that we didn't have to see to know they were there. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
unheard of.
Yeah, and again, it's really no wonder that it took people a long time to see it. I mean, you'd expect that probably the first piece of land that would have been sighted would have been the cape that sticks out, reaching towards South America, towards Cape Horn.
That's some of the toughest waters on the planet.
But
right?
yeah, and like I said in the beginning, the Southern Ocean sucks. It's like
you're funneling the motion of an entire ocean through an area only.
it blows
Yeah.
it blows 40 plus all the time.
That's amazing. Albatrosses
All
must
the
love that.
fucking
And
time.
it's freezing too. Those waters, you fall overboard or something, you're done.
Yeah.
it's
And it's
over.
like,
Yeah.
in the age of sail, I mean, it's no freaking wonder Captain Cook didn't find the place. It's like he's got a sailboat. How's he? Wait till the 1800s. Maybe they're more capable vessels, but holy cripes!
Cook
Wait until you actually do have boats with little putt-putts coming out the back.
Marco Polo too. He sailed down around there and didn't, because what are you gonna do? You can't go in with those vessels they had. They couldn't have gone into those rough waters with those rough, frigid waters full of ice. And
Well, they can go into them. They're not going to come back.
Yeah, well, just after, even in the 20th century, was it 20th century Shackleton? Isn't that one Shackleton got wrecked? I don't know.
I have no idea.
But in the 21st century, Joe Rogan got wrecked. So let's just keep on keeping on.
Maps.
Oops.
Because
Neil,
we
that
didn't
would be
discover it
me, Dr.
until 1820.
Tapiocaweasel.
And yet it's on maps drawn in the 1500s with great detail.
Yes, would you like
which again were based on much older source maps that have now been lost to us.
We'll be small.
Besides this, Graham also pointed to the Orontius Phineas map, which also shows that Antarctica was indeed present. Orontius Phineas was a mathematician and book illustrator who lived in the late 14th and early 15th century, and in his maps Antarctica is actually present. The people at the time reportedly referred to the continent as the Southern Lands, but the fact remains that Antarctica was truly there. And all this...
I wonder how many of those images actually, like if you stopped on that map, would it actually show what he says it's showing?
Or is it just a random map? I don't know. I'm not sure.
There was an awful lot of speculation about there being a landmass at the southern pole of the globe.
There's also a
Terra Australis, I believe, is what it was called back in the day, and it was like, again, I think Maya mentioned Atlantis. It's like all sorts of lands were posited to exist. It just so happens that Antarctica the Antarctica.
The Antarctica.
I have to hew to the scientific term as described here. It's in my contract, but I mean,
that's why I'm actually here. I'm doing a shill audit.
Yeah, great.
So
anyway, so it's no big surprise that people were talking about all land. Here they be dragons.
Mm-hmm.
This simply begs the question, how on earth did these old guys discover the presence of Antarctica back then when we only found it in 1820? Well, according to Graham, this could be conclusive proof that there was really a civilization that existed before us humans, which did some mapping before we ever even got on the scene.
And to map the world during the
Oh,
last
can
ice age,
you,
one of the things I find
pause right
most
here?
striking is
I need Doc to read this comment.
Pull up the thing.
You haven't been on Neil's show, Weasel?
I haven't.
Kick him off, Maya. Kick him off.
No,
Really?
well, okay. I have been. I haven't been like an invited guest on it. I have appeared on stream.
No, I mean you
This-
get to
this
be
is
a
an-
guest,
this
or
is
you're not
an
officially in
invite,
this
though.
community.
Yeah.
I mean, am I, Neil, am I
happened?
wrong? Is this an
What
invite? If I'm wrong, I'll apologize
No,
publicly.
we're having a fun- I've lost the chat. Oh no. There it is.
Awesome. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's go.
There's Doorknob Head.
Doorknob Head's here. Carrie Ann's here. Pragmatic's here. Oh yeah, all kinds of people here.
Neil said you're officially invited, Weasel.
Wonderful.
There we go. All right, the after show is really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Stephanie.
I've been
You've
to
been to the
Try
a
and
number.
stop Stephanie from being there.
We had a blast last night, didn't we, Steph? That was a really good after party.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, that was a pretty cool after party. That's fun.
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
is the presence of Antarctica on ancient maps, because we didn't discover it until 1820.
Graham added that
But
while
that,
the maps
again,
could be a
that
bit
does not
confusing because of the
mean-
different data sources, the fact
That
What's
does
that,
not mean, I said it again, that does not mean just because they hadn't seen it that they didn't know it was there before, that there was something there.
Well, but don't you know, blind people don't have object permanence. So
Yeah. Well, yeah. You gotta keep that in mind.
I the short-sightedness of these people.
Bug bladdered beast of trawl. Like, where's my towel? God.
Yeah, I'm too
I had another random thought, but I forgot what it was.
I'm too sober for this. Steph,
Mm.
I trust you completely.
remains that a civilization could indeed have existed in
at that.
Antarctica
Look at that thing,
before
boy.
recorded history began. Operation High Jump and
Okay,
the
pause that.
Oh yeah, I got
What?
to pause this. I got to pause right there.
Everything was fine until the Fire Nation attacked you guys.
Oh boy.
That's when it always
Yeah.
goes south, man.
We have the undersea button and the flying saucer. Oh my God.
Unrestricted submarine warfare includes aliens.
Aliens, and it's not just one. You can see there
yeah.
are two of them.
Yeah.
Carrie said it was remote viewing. Prove me wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys are too funny.
Oh my fucking word! It's
alien connection. Besides the links between Antarctica and a possible advanced civilization that lived much longer than many of us can even realize, the icy continent has also been linked to alien activity. Now, I know this might sound shocking to you, but stick with me because we're about to go into some really freaky stuff. In August 2022, Joe Rogan hosted Sam Tripoli, a fellow podcaster and comedian, on his show. The two spoke about a myriad of events, but things got really intense when Sam explained the history of one of the United States' most infamous missions, Operation High Jump. Not many know about Operation High Jump, most likely because it was named the United States Antarctic Development Program. The operation lasted for just 9 months between 1946 and 1947, and it brought possible revelations that aliens might literally
How do you go from
Operation
expedition
High
to
Jump
aliens?
most likely.
Yeah, you're right, Neil. Joe Rogan said it. You're right. You're right, man. You're right. He's right. Of course, it's Joe Rogan.
It's Joe Rogan.
Totally must be.
Saint Rogan.
Saint Rogan.
Totally must be.
This is
I'm sorry, I muted because I had to hack, but Dr. Tapiocaweasel has a very
this is literally the plot of Alien versus Predator.
Yeah, where they go down
Like, they go to Antarctica and they find a thing and it's aliens.
Oh my god, are you saying that Aliens versus Predator like foresaw the whole thing?
That's a
Or
documentary.
was it-
I'm
yeah,
saying
it was a documentary. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
hold on.
Yeah.
Let's-
We just
did
didn't
they-
know it.
Did the Simpsons predict it though? That's where it really has staying power.
I think
Did
you're
the
right.
Simpsons
know.
predict Antarctic aliens?
You've got another feather over there.
I have another feather.
I'm
That's
gonna also- I'm
that's a crow feather.
I'm gonna get the feather so that we
Yeah.
can double team with
That's
the
good.
feathers.
We can go.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I don't want to hear about you two double teaming anything, please.
I got it.
I'll say this. All right. I would
Dr.
like to
Dr.
dedicate
Weasel
this
has the
part
crow
of the stream
feather.
to
Here we go.
absolutely no
Yep.
other streamer in particular.
Yeah, none.
Anybody
All
want to
right,
get the timer?
so
Anybody want to get the timer? I'm wondering if it's going to take me a whole 10 minutes.
Okay. I got it. Go.
What?
If what's gonna take 10 minutes?
Nothing. Shut up. This
Because
doesn't
it was
pertain
named
to you.
the United States Antarctic Development Program. The operation lasted for just 9 months between 1946 and 1947. It brought possible revenue.
Oh, there we go. I just wanted to
What?
see this again
Oh, okay. One
because
second.
this was clearly filmed by the Navy in
By the
1946.
Navy?
Mentions that aliens might literally have been in
You can tell how
Antarctica
real
while
it is.
World
Hey,
War II was
who timed
going
that?
on.
Who timed that?
Leading the charge for Operation High Jump was Admiral Richard E. Byrd. The admiral was a notable military figure. He graduated from the
1.21.
United States Naval Academy and even fought in World War I. But after
Internet champ.
2026.
Hey, if you know, you know.
Oh.
I'm being a bitch. Don't mind me.
That seems on brand.
But
I mean, yeah.
Fair.
I love her.
the aircraft shown proves that is not a World War I
the
aircraft.
conflict, he became an explorer. Byrd made headlines in 1926
Admiral
when
Byrd.
he and Navy Chief Aviation pilot Floyd Bennett became
He's
the
like
first
the-
ever to
he's the
complete a
Nikola
flight
Tesla
over the
of
North
explorers.
Pole. Both men were awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor for their achievement. And when Byrd himself completed the first
We're
solo
talking about
flight
mammoths.
over the South Pole, he became the youngest man in American Navy history to
That
ever
was
be
shocked.
promoted to the rank of admiral. This guy was legit, so it was only fitting.
Any comments on Admiral Byrd?
Did Admiral Byrd? Because I hear his name comes up a lot. Did he
So-
go off the deep end later, or did people
He-
just?
No.
There's famous recordings of him telling the story of flying over Antarctica, finding lush green valleys with woolly mammoths and
Mhm.
dinosaurs, and then aliens, UFOs, put him in a tractor beam, so he had to follow them back to their base. Took him and he had dinner with the leaders and talked about the nuclear problem of the world with them, and then sent him on his way. And he was not allowed to declassify it until later in life, I believe, is the way the story goes.
Yeah,
So-
Admiral Byrd found Hitler's Aryan race, I think, is how it goes.
Yeah,
I have
they
to
were-
say something to Purple about her comment real quick, you guys.
Mhm.
I don't care if I'm high or not. I'm still going to tell Maya she's hot, Purple. Just drink. It's fine.
Oh, you should, I'm telling you, you should see Maya in person.
I know. I heard. I heard.
I mean, I've in terms of seeing people in person, I've got one down and all y'all to go. So
There you go.
Yeah, no, Stephanie has got us all beat. Bow down and pay homage, bitches.
Yeah,
Come on now.
that's right.
Roll 'em.
That he'd be the man to lead such an important mission. With the United States
Yeah,
and its allies recently winning World War
highly
II, Washington
decorated
turned its
crackpot, you
sights
bet.
on Antarctica. The goal of Operation High Jump was to explore the continent and train military personnel there, with the hopes of eventually turning it into a massive military base. President
Oh, wait just a fucking minute.
the entire continent.
The one of the most important achievements of the United Nations was the negotiation of a treaty about Antarctica that was the model for the treaty about space. which is to say that Antarctica is an open continent, not subject
owns
to
it.
claims.
And
So-
you're not allowed to militarize it,
Yeah,
right?
it's not. It's according to international treaty. That's not the case. Like,
Aye.
Harry Truman and the government were looking to establish American dominance over Antarctica, and they chose Admiral Byrd as the man to lead this initial phase. Operation High Jump was a huge endeavor. It comprised 13 warships, 33 aircraft, and about 4,700 troops. It was and still remains the largest Antarctic military expedition to date. But just 9 months following their departure, the adventurers all came back. According to SAM records compiled by Admiral Byrd, showed that the Navy commander had apparently made contact with alien forces
Here
and
we go.
unidentified
Oh, God.
flying objects.
Don't you love how they bring this up after the people die, and then all of a sudden they met aliens?
And it's
Well,
a matter
yeah,
of
I mean,
fact. It's a matter
Well,
of
he
fact
never
about
said
it.
it. Admiral Byrd never said anything about aliens or anything suspicious going on with the government at all while he was alive. All of this
Right.
started after his death, and then there were mysteriously these diaries that popped up.
he basically met with the UFOs on the Antarctica.
He basically met with UFOs, Nazi UFOs.
And there's Godwin's law for us.
What's Godwin's law?
I I'm gonna have to fade away.
Basically, this just turned into we went full Iron Sky here, though. I mean, next they're going to tell us that they're going to the moon. You got Nazis on the moon, and then they're coming down on the
Nazis
Well,
Antarctic.
why not? The Jews have space lasers. Why can't the Nazis have stuff on the moon?
It seems discriminatory. I agree.
All right, now we have the Nazis. Let's see who else. We have Nazi UFOs. Were the aliens Nazis?
Were the Nazis aliens?
Well, they were stupid, so I don't think they were smart enough to go through space. So no.
So the rocket
Sam pointed
scientists
out
that we took from the Nazis are the ones who ended up going to space, though. I mean,
Yeah, they did do good rocket science.
Look over there. It's Dolphy. Oh my goodness. Dolphy's on the screen on the Joe Rogan show. Oh,
No.
Oh my God.
Maya, you and I need to talk sometime about that all-black
Nazis?
podcast that had that bigot on that hangs out with Trump, and they were wearing fucking KKK hoods.
I am so up for talking about Nazis any day of the week.
Yeah, we'll talk about that soon. I'll
right.
find the info. I'll give it to you.
Some other time. Right now, we have Nazis on the Antarctica.
No, we have not. Yeah, we are exposing Nazis inside the Earth.
Alien.
Uber Mash.
We are discovering them. We are bringing facts with this video.
I believe the mountains in the background there with the Führer there is not the Antarctica. Is Berchtesgaden. The
Couldn't be
Eagle's Nest.
Couldn't be the Alps, could it?
Yep.
The Nazis had apparently made a deal with aliens to leverage their advanced technology in World War II, but so far no one actually knows why this wasn't deployed. Now, Sam hasn't been the first person to talk about this. In fact, several other experts do corroborate. Sam said the top brass at Operation High Jump eventually went back to President Truman and told him that
there's a certain document. I got to pause here and comment that there's a certain documentary style, which I'll see if I can coin the phrase. The lunatic documentary style, wherein you take a picture of Harry Truman sitting at the desk where the buck stops and all of that. You superimpose it with FDR, and of course throw in Dolph, just for verisimilitude and
Yeah.
gravitas. I think gravitas is a good one.
Mm-hmm.
But this is all entire. And then you put up this thing. What is that? Jesus fucking Christ! I'm sorry. I'm losing my goddamn mind.
There were truly aliens, so he decided to strike a deal with them.
Look
The
at this
aliens could
guy.
conduct humane experiments, but they could only do it in secluded places. And guess where those spots were? Trust me, you won't believe it.
And that's where they say Eisenhower made a deal.
Okay.
With the aliens.
Not just the Democrats. Let's be clear. It's not just the Democrats. It's good old Ike. I like Ike making the deal with the aliens. You can't fucking trust these people.
That's why he built the interstate system.
That's right. So the aliens could get around.
Yeah.
You know. It's fucking Christ's sake.
With these aliens that they could kidnap people and do experiments, but they couldn't just do it anywhere. They had to.
Oh, yeah, no, let him finish the sentence.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Medicare. Just saying. Aliens.
They had specific places, which were our national forest.
What?
Yeah, dude.
It's crazy to think that our national forests might have been the site of human experiments. But who knows with these guys?
It is
If you're
crazy
still
to think.
doubting the fact that aliens could have been in Antarctica all this while. Consider this. Back in 2018, a satellite image captured what appeared to have been a condensed travel trail from an aircraft. You know, when you look up in the sky and find those trails that follow airplanes.
The chemtrails, yeah.
That's
Chemtrails.
that's how they put it in the water.
We've got chemtrails. We've got aliens.
To be fair,
Yeah.
they haven't yet said chemtrails, but I just know. Look at that.
But,
You can't tell me that that's not intended to turn the frogs gay.
Definitely chemtrails.
That's
I'm-
to turn the frogs gay.
I mean, obviously.
It is.
Yeah, it basically spells
It says
agenda in the sky.
It does. Right there. It does. The loop. Look at that. That's a clever communist symbol.
No, it's like what do you call it? Crop circles in the sky.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
It's a clever National Socialist symbol too. By the way, look at that. This. Oh, you know what?
You know,
Look at the Rolling Stone lips you got going on up there. Holy shit!
you can see the aliens to be commies.
Man.
Those are crop circles in the sky,
Planes
guys.
around. Exactly.
Yep.
Now, finding an aircraft trail isn't a novelty. We all do it. But what was especially
sorry,
shocking
I gotta
about
go.
this trail was that it
That
quite
isn't-
literally ran across the Earth. According to scientists,
It
an
is
aircraft trail that's created would disappear in about 30 minutes tops. Some trails even vanish long before then. For an aircraft to leave a trail that would span the entire length of the Earth and not break up, it would need to travel at a speed of 50,000 miles per hour at the very least. And that in itself is about 10 times faster than the fastest aircraft in the world. 70 years since Admiral Byrd's records were found, it appears that his theory...
Wait, hold on. I didn't skip there. There was just a sudden cut from the end of one sentence to it.
What is this? How did we get to this trail across the globe, and how did they assure it went the full distance of the globe? If
Well,
it
I think this is what they're talking. I think they're talking about this image right here, which, if I do forward, this is a remarkable, long straight thing in the sky. You wouldn't expect to see this typically, but it doesn't look like it. I doubt this is from a plane. Maybe it could be seeded by a plane. Crazier things have happened.
No, it's clearly aliens.
Are literally chaotic and unpredictable. So, or aliens. Yeah, I
Or
forgot.
aliens. Like,
Could
God
it,
damn it. Like this is your first week.
Could it be like a tectonic response?
I doubt it's probably just like a very well defined like edge of a front or something, or it's fake. Maybe it's fake. I mean, this looks shopped, right? I can tell from some of the pixels and having seen quite a few shops in my time. So,
Well, if you look up towards the upper left of it, you see where it looks almost more like there's two frames of two different seasons.
Oh yeah.
You know how like on Google Earth when you zoom in, you go like, oh, this patch is in the winter clothes and this patch is in summer clothes. Like when you're going along, yeah, it's what's to say that's not what that we're looking at here. I'm not saying it is, but how we
thanks for pointing that out, because I would not have noticed that until you said it.
I think more concerning is the fact that there's clearly a giant fish in the middle of the frame.
It's Jesus. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Jesus in Antarctica.
It's an angel. Yeah. This is the wings, and this is the other wing, and that's it doesn't have a head. It's a decapitated angel.
Yeah. Although.
Oh, no, actually, it's an alien. This is the eye right here.
Roger, no. If Roger were here, you know what he'd call that?
A vagina.
Yep.
and as we know about Roger, he knows vaginas.
You know what we need right now?
There we go.
Feathers.
Oh, look at Brian Stevens is always being like super smart and shit.
Well, that doesn't sound like anybody that we want to spend time with.
Yeah. I mean, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
What's up with this? All right, there's smart people in.
It is white purple.
God, there are all sorts of smart people in chat. Purple's here. Jay's here.
Carrie Ann.
I'm pretty sure Purple's been here the whole time, but I could just be making that up because she's also been in. So Steph showed me several streams of hers recently that I didn't catch, and of course, you know. Everybody's in all the chats. So
Purple's
been showing a lot of support today. Love her.
So I can never remember. I'm like, oh yeah. No, I've seen you. It's like, oh no, I just got here. Oh well. You know, a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B.
Yeah, we're about halfway through this thing, so let's proceed.
That it quite literally ran across the Earth. According to scientists, an aircraft trail that's created would disappear in about 30 minutes tops. Some trails even vanish long before then. For an aircraft to leave a trail that would span the entire length of the Earth and not break up, it would need to travel at a speed of 50,000 miles per hour at the very least. And that in itself is about 10 times faster than the fastest aircraft in the world. 70 years since Admiral Byrd's records were found, it appears that his theory might have been confirmed. Other proofs of ancient civilizations.
Other proofs? Wait,
now, I know
what did I
all
miss?
this might be quite a lot.
Were there first proofs?
I was going to ask.
I don't think we had seen any proofs. We've seen.
Is it just me, or has this all been speculation? Am I the dumb one? I did not see proof.
Well, I don't know about you. I'm convinced.
So anecdotal evidence,
but a lot of it.
Posthumanist anecdotal evidence, alleged posthumanist anecdotal evidence.
Okay, well, post hoc ergo proctor hoc, facts equals facts, right? I heard that somewhere.
Yeah.
There was a phrase used by a philosophy fellow that I recently had the pleasure of listening to. He used the term a posteriori, and as far as I can tell, that means pulling shit out of your ass. All right, rolling it.
Again, however, it appears to be hard proof that the world as we know it isn't necessarily what it seems, and in more ways than one we're finding different other reasons to show that there must have been a lot of human activity that shapes the planet. The Amazon's first inhabitants. For further proof that there were ancient civilizations in our world, Joe Rogan has also explored other parts of the planet that show the presence of different races of people. One such location is the lush, beautiful Amazon rainforest. The Amazon is known to pretty much everyone in the world right now. The forest plays a significant role in preserving the global ecosystem. Think about it. The Amazon rainforest holds about 76 billion tons of carbon, while the forest also
Deutsche Welle documentary, right? This is that documentary style.
Well, they're about to do the whole dirt argument.
Yeah, they are about to get down into the dirt, and there's an insect in there. You'll like it.
This whole dirt argument makes no sense whatsoever. It's complete anyway. Which
I feel dirty already.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming. Watch out for the.
Releases about 20 billion tons of water on a daily basis. The forest is also home to unknown species of plants and animals, and it's been referred to by many as the planet's lungs.
They're so unknown that they were captured in a Deutsche Welle documentary.
Interestingly, though, it would also appear that the lush and supposedly untapped land in and around the Amazon rainforest didn't just naturally appear. According to Graham Hancock again, the Amazon...
Graham Hancock. That's our source of truth, guys.
No, he's the expert. Remember?
Well, stuff just keeps on
coming out of his mouth. Stuff just keeps on coming out and making him money. And this man.
I agree, Carrie.
The thing that's so disturbing to me is that the actual science of the Amazon and the tropical jungles and all of that stuff is absolutely stunning and fascinating and wonderful. And there are the ecosystems in the canopy that are way different from the ecosystems on the ground, and the decay and all of this other stuff. All of those processes are
it's the most amazing biome.
It's just so incredibly fascinating. And these people have to make it all about fucking aliens and ancient civilizations and all of this other shit, rather than actually investigating the stuff that actually means something. They're going to make reference to the lungs of the planet. They're going to do all of this stuff, but they don't give a shit about that because they're trying to further monetize their fucking channel and put out content for 865,000 people.
We should really sell out.
Jesus Christ. Sorry. Fucking rant. I'm sorry.
Played host to civilizations that lived in it and thrived.
Tell us how you really feel, Steph.
Years back, Graham appeared on Joe Rogan's podcast where he spoke about the mystery of the Amazon rainforest and the fact that a lot of us still don't know much about the vast expanse of land. According to Graham, the general and conventional knowledge has always been that the Amazon rainforest was an uninhabitable piece of land that humans couldn't enter until about 8,000 years ago when indigenous tribes started to settle around it.
There was a preconception. Human beings couldn't have flourished in the Amazon. It's not a resource-rich area. The soils are poor. It's a difficult area, challenging to get to, very far from the Bering Straits.
It's not a resource-rich area, he says.
What?
Yeah, that's why I had this look on my face. Thank you for saying something.
Yeah, I don't think that's what people were saying.
No, I don't think it was ever the narrative.
It is true probably that growing crops can be challenging, mostly because the crops aren't going to be suitable. And, you have the entire ecosystem is just like, nah. But
it's so full of everything.
It's so vibrantly full of life that, yeah.
But there are like tropical fruits and stuff that we get from countries in the Amazon.
Yeah,
but, there are people in the area, and we've seen people.
One in particular.
Yeah, I don't. There's a number of reasons why we thought that people couldn't flourish in the jungle, but I don't think that resources were the issue.
Yeah,
with the exception of George. With the exception,
sugar is their main agricultural export, or soybeans is ahead of it.
I think the biggest problem in the jungle is that there's so many predators that will eat people.
Yeah, yeah, that's
the problem. I understood it. You know how they hunt for snakes in the jungle. They put blood on someone's leg and stick it down the hole, and wait for the snake to latch onto it and try to swallow it, and then they pull the guy out because they don't bite; they swallow whole.
That doesn't seem
and they all
ideal.
take turns doing it in the tribe. The next time they go out and get another snake,
Yeah, not fear the prey.
That's like the
Right?
noodling for
Fear the
catfish.
snake. I mean, it's clearly ideal. It's like a DoorDash.
Right?
Like I
Ooh,
said,
look, Uber's here.
Right.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, yeah, I mean, there were, I mean, at one time there were so many, it was so dense and it was so hard for us to get through the Amazon that we didn't know like what all
mhm,
types of animals were even in it.
mhm. And I think the main reason that they didn't know about these people is it's
Because we couldn't get
really
into it.
easy. Yeah, you couldn't get into it, and it's also really easy to hide when you grow up in the jungle and know
Yeah.
how to move about it,
Right.
and the white people come in and are just dropping like flies from malaria. Like
Right.
they simply won't. You could be 20 feet from them, and they wouldn't know.
Right. I mean, because
So
it's really dense. Like
Well,
really,
it's
you
really
also have to
dense.
consider you also have to
inconceivable.
consider natural immunities. Like we
Mhm.
can't go to
Now,
Mexico and
very
drink the
much
water,
like this
but they
video.
drink it all the time.
Because my
Yeah.
all right.
So there's always natural immunities in every
Very much
environment.
super dense like this video.
Mhm.
Roll on.
So the view was that humans hadn't entered the Amazon until about 1,000 years ago. And then gradually, little by little, that view has begun to change. And it's begun to change because of the tragic clearances of the Amazon.
Graham brought up the gradual erosion of the Amazon rainforest due to industrialization and manufacturing processes. As he explained,
call
while
it-
these
I don't
activities
call it
are
erosion.
tragic, they've also unearthed secrets of the Amazon that were long held.
And in that cutting down process has emerged things that shouldn't be there at all. For example, evidence that large cities flourished in the Amazon. Enormous cities, which were larger than there was a Spanish explorer who went down the Amazon River system in 1541 to 1542. He was the first European to cross the entire length of South America from west to east along the Amazon. He reported seeing incredible cities, advanced arts and crafts, millions of people, a thriving culture. And 100 years later, when other Europeans got into the Amazon, they couldn't find these cities. So they said, oh, Francisco Orellana, that was his name, made it all up. It was just a fantasy.
Although this Spanish explorer was mocked for his beliefs and what he thought he saw, he's actually been proven right recently. A few years ago, scientists were able to use light-based remote sensing technology.
I don't think he made it up. I think he heard the stories from people, because when you go and you ask people, tell me about this amazing thing, they will tell you. It's like asking ChatGPT for a map to El Dorado. It'll give you one.
Well, it's like
yeah.
there were civilizations in the area. They just, and the jungle does take them back that fast. The Americas were basically depopulated by the early contact between 1492 and the 1570s.
Yeah, he's going to make that point, and it's a good one. It is a fair point. There absolutely could have been some towns and stuff that
mm-hmm.
were completely abandoned because they lost so much population that everybody left. The ones that remained.
It's a collection of fuck nuts here going on. It's beyond me.
Yeah.
These will be parts of existing civilizations that there's other records of too. But
Here's another example of just like geospatial world. This is a demonstration of what LiDAR is, and LiDAR has found all sorts of amazing things, like cities in the middle of the Sahara, for example. It's like looking underneath the sands, looking underneath the jungle, as they're talking about here. And yes, in the Amazon, absolutely. Also in Central America, there's more information about Mayan civilization has come out recently because we have LiDAR. We've found more Mayan cities over the course of the past 15 years or so, and lots, again, real science, real archaeology, real inquiry going on. But all of this is turned into a video about space aliens. It's nuts. It's fucking fucks.
It's real dumb.
And the bad part of it is there's so much good history
Mhm.
information here, and then they have to ruin it with the bullshit in between.
Yeah.
And guys, I need to make another point. Look at the title of this nutty fucking video. Joe Rogan reveals sudden discovery of ancient aliens in the Antarctica. Never mind the Antarctica. I've made enough fun of that bullshit. But it's like, what do? We grab probably the biggest fucking independent, YouTuber guy and throw his name up there. Why? Clout,
Yeah,
hits,
I guess.
visibility, all that other crap. I mean, a podcast we're all familiar with decided that in order to introduce a series on trans issues, had to say, was Matt Walsh right about the definition of women? I mean, come on, guys. You've already got 300,000 subscribers. You've got 856,000 subscribers. And you have to clout chase by using a name that's bigger than you. Give me a break.
Yeah.
To be fair, we're a little bit doing that right now.
This is true.
But we also don't put it in the title. So
No, I intentionally kept Joe Rogan out of the title.
Wait,
Yeah.
I do. I've put Joe Rogan in the title of my videos where I'm responding to something Joe Rogan said.
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, that's a Joe Rogan video, though. Like, that's, I don't know. Like, I don't even feel like this is a Joe Rogan video. It's like, well, hey, Joe Rogan found stuff. It should be Graham Hancock. Said shit.
Yeah, Graham
It
Hancock.
should be Graham Hancock has this thing. And who the hell knows anything about Graham Hancock aside from the fact that
Well, now he's
maybe
got that
some people
crazy-
know he showed up on the Joe Rogan Experience.
Well, also
at one point in time.
he has that huge Netflix show that came out
Oh, God.
like 6 months ago or something.
Christ's sake.
And like if
He's fucking nuts.
Milo's series, Mini
Bunch of
Minuteman
fucking
series is great. Highly recommend to
Mhm.
anybody because he's an actual he's trained to some extent in archaeology. And yeah.
Yeah. I know.
or LiDAR to digitally deforest the Amazon, and what they discovered was quite shocking. They saw proof and ancient ruins of what seemed like a vast urban settlement around Llanos de Mojos in part of the rainforest that sits in Bolivia.
If you go to the southeast of the Llanos de Mojos, which is a savanna region in the lowlands of Bolivia, people will tell you of the lomas. Those lomas are mounds that exist over there and that are normally covered by vegetation.
When many of these mounds actually started being investigated, most archaeologists believed they were nothing but heaps of rubbish that had accumulated over the centuries. However, beneath the surface of the ground, researchers found artifacts, graves, and other platforms, all of which is
Pause the fucking tape.
It's grave
mean,
robbing time.
I have to bring up another myth maker, one Joseph Smith,
Oh yeah.
whose entire thing was investigating the mounds of Indian culture, supposing there was buried treasure there, and supposing there was an ancient civilization of white people, specifically Hebrews, that were the people that created these civilizations in North America, because obviously the native people, the people that had lived here for millennia, couldn't have done that. This is the same goddamn civilizational appropriation and dominance this is propaganda for colonialist mentality.
Mhm.
It's just
Propaganda for
garbage.
when.
Brown
Just
people don't build things. What do they even think? Brown people
Oh,
build stuff
yeah.
out of straw. They don't build stuff that.
I mean, you think about it, it's the same goddamn thing. It's like the Mount Camorra, it's the same stuff, except it's on YouTube and it's reaching 865,000 people at once. And Joe had to do it with a book by book by book by book by book.
Mhm.
And it's just Jesus, bro.
We're gonna find Zara
The amount of absolute fucking tripe that swirls around is in this day and age is astonishing.
Yeah. It's mind blowing.
proof that there indeed was a civilization in the Amazon rainforest that was seemingly wiped out.
We found something like 120 graves in that site, and some did have offerings, and they were at special locations. So all those data combined showed that the society itself was much more complex than anybody had supposed before.
Among the other things that scientists found in
Cool.
the region include evidence of canals.
Right? Like that sounds awesome and amazing and
Right.
interesting. And also, whenever they say that nobody had ever supposed before, people, maybe the mainstream wasn't of that opinion, due to at the time, lack of super clear evidence. But I bet there were some people out there who hypothesized, maybe this is actually a really, developed, complex society with trade and all sorts of stuff. Hopefully, maybe not. Maybe it was all. Maybe it was all
this land-
ignorant. Yeah, white men who assumed that. That actually. Yeah, no, my confidence has suddenly dropped.
This is as bad. This is as bad as the creationist videos that you see produced, where they go out and they interview a guy like Lawrence Krauss or this, that, and they take snippets of their thoughts about cosmology and this and that.
Yeah.
Put it all together, make it sciencey sounding, while they're in the process of basically saying, "See, these scientists don't even know," and it's just, come on, people. It's a polemic. What we're looking at here is a polemic that keeps people fucking ignorant about what fucking science actually fucking is.
And it makes them feel special, like they're in on the secret.
Pisses me off.
Yeah.
Defensive banks, reservoirs, and even conical pyramids. Pyramids? Anyway.
Conical pyramids aren't pyramids. They're cones.
Yeah.
This is yeah, they don't have those edges. I don't know what the fuck are you talking about?
That's the we're calling neo pyramids. Actually, there's a name for them. It's cone.
Yeah, right.
Yes. Oh my God, Bree, you've hit on it. It's the cone heads. It was the cone heads that did all of this. The cone heads built the pyramids. Or they tried to teach humanity how to build a proper pyramid, but we were too stupid to do it.
Yeah.
Jesus. I don't have enough fucking vodka.
Someone else sensed an Egyptian connection here. The site is the most startling discovery that suggests that the Amazon rainforest wilderness was actually heavily populated, and in some cases, maybe even urbanized. All of this happened long before the recordings of history even began. So who could these people be, and what were they doing all this while? The scientists believe the town must have been abandoned.
Aren't they cute?
I'm going to guess trying to survive.
Right.
I think that's what they were doing.
You think?
Like everybody else.
Well, they had no tools back then, man. They were like digging dirt with sticks. Like, we have equipment done in 2 seconds.
I am sure, Beck, that they had their tools back then, just like we do now.
Well,
the people that produce this video, for example, complete fucking tools.
Yeah. But yeah, he's right.
People in the Amazon had like
clear out an acre in an afternoon. Yeah. Although, to be fair, I don't know that you could clear out an acre in an afternoon, even with bulldozers. Like, it's really dense down there.
Yeah.
Tapiocaweasel, have you seen those videos where the guys like go in with those just flat-ended sticks and they dig out like these big holes and make pools and like a cool house and they just dig it all out of the dirt themselves, and they'll basically put in
and YouTube channels like that.
Well, no.
Literally
These are guys that are out.
They
live in the rainforest and they do it all by hand. There's like 2 or 3 of them, and they build all these different. And they'll like take big pieces of bamboo from the trees and bring the water over to the pool from the river, and it's really freaking cool.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like what you can do if you just put your mind to something is incredible.
And that's exactly what they did. One that was totally underground, and they put torches in it, and there was water
That's
in the
amazing.
middle, and they were all sitting in there chilling after working hard all day on it and sweating. They were underneath the ground. It was really cool, man. Anyways, sorry.
Yeah, no problem. That
Point
it's
is that they
very
are. They
impressive.
can be. People can be resourceful when they want to be. And they
Yeah,
need to
I remember like they go and they find this type of fungus that is really high in iron, and you just collect that every day, and you can get like 0.5 gram of iron every day, and you can smelt it down, and eventually that adds up.
Well, yeah, if you do it. Well, but you're saying just one trip.
Yeah, just one trip, like
you could
0.5
do enough
gram.
for 10 and take it back, and then have 10 times that amount every day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
crazy.
around 600 years ago, although it remains unclear what might have caused them to migrate. According to Graham, though, it could be that another
They're probably white people. That might have caused them to migrate.
culture invaded their land and forced them to skip town.
What happened was that the Spaniards brought smallpox into the Amazon. Smallpox devastated the local population because there was no immunity to it. There was a massive die-off. The cities were deserted. Within 50 years, they were completely overgrown by the jungle, and that's why they were not seen by the explorers who came in 100 years later.
That is the best point he's made.
Yep.
All video.
Okay. Fair.
Right? Yeah.
Terra Preta. Another interesting discovery in the Amazon has been Terra Preta. Known by some as Amazonian dark earth, Terra Preta is a form of soil that seems to only be exclusive to the Amazonian basin. Terra Preta is an incredibly fertile form of soil that many scientists have been looking at as a possible way to transform the entire agricultural landscape. However, while scientists are still working on making Terra Preta, it's interesting because no one knows how it really came to be. Well, as you'd expect, Graham has a theory about that too. According to the author, the oldest inhabitants of the Amazon rainforest actually made Terra
It would
Preta as
surprise
a
me
means
if
of
Graham
feeding
didn't have a
themselves.
theory about absolutely anything.
Yeah. No, he
I mean,
Bear, well, let me
Yeah, do you know about this?
let me try to steel man the argument here. So the most diverse region, the most species diverse region in the area or in the world, in this little pocket here, and they're just now saying, hey, maybe there's something in the soil that makes it so everything here thrives. Just the it seems like common sense would tell you, but who am I to say?
Yeah.
No, I'm not familiar with Terra Preta. It sounds interesting. Sounds like something I want to follow up on.
Yeah, it does sound interesting.
It does indeed.
It also, like, I would imagine that there are a lot of ideas supported to various degrees of where it comes from, but it's like I don't know. It sounds like they're describing it as like a magical substance.
Because the soil in the rainforest was notoriously bad for producing anything. You know what? Why not hear about it from the man himself?
Those cities are emerging, and we can say that a city like London, which had a population of roughly 50,000 in the 16th century, there were cities of that size all over the Amazon. Wow. Huge numbers of them. And a possible total population of the Amazon that exceeded 20 million people.
What?
Yes, 20 million. This is the latest evidence
No,
from the
the
Amazon. And
Amazon
then you
is
ask
not
yourself,
bad
how
at
did they do it?
No, the Amazon's not bad at producing stuff. It's the most species-rich region on the face of the earth. That means the most things can grow there. The most number of different kinds of things can grow there. Species-rich.
You can't.
He's like, I can't take it anymore.
You showed me a picture where the foliage is so dense that if you cut away every leaf that you see, you still wouldn't be able to see the rainforest floor. Like,
you got like 10 more layers.
Exactly. It's dark at the bottom of the rainforest because the sun doesn't reach down there much.
Brady, I am officially transferring the ranting rod to you right now in the form of the elf in the room.
I'm just thinking it's like the opposite of what he says.
What do you have? The elephant in the room?
Yeah, the elephant
I
in the
love
room.
it.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, and Doc Paleologist says hi from the International Conference on Creationism.
Ooh, fun.
Hello.
I'm sorry,
Hope
Bree.
Hope you're
Epic
shaking
Bree
things up,
rant.
Peter.
I'm back.
Yeah. No, it was that's it. And it's the most species rich. He's like, nothing grows here. The soil's just so bad, nothing can grow here, except for more stuff can grow here than anywhere else in the world. Those things can't exist in the same place.
Like farmers all across the world wish they had that soil in their backyard.
Right.
Like that is
You know what
primo.
It sounds like super compost of some nature or another, and they'll go into saying it was manufactured. It's like, well, it may well have been, and who the hell knows? I mean, nobody thinks it's like there's some big mystery that, oh well, there weren't any people in the Amazon. Well, of course there were. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. And
20 million people in a place that large isn't that.
It's not
weird.
used by today's standards, but it's the back of human population
Back
wasn't
then,
always
that's
this big,
huge.
but
I mean, New York City wasn't 5 million back then, or 8 million, or whatever it is. 8 million.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Anyway.
How did they feed 20 million people in the Amazon? Because
with the Amazon, they have the Amazon.
I don't know. Kill boar all day and eat ham and bacon for your life?
No, that can't be it.
The most species-rich place on Earth. Again.
Yeah, but
there is so many wild boar in the Amazon.
But guys, if you can't plant white people crops, then it can't be worth anything.
Look,
Facts.
You've got you've got great green gobs of greasy, grimy gopher guts, mutilated monkey meat, little dirty birdie feet. Yeah, etc.
French fried eyeballs rolling down the.
Come on, people.
And I forgot my spoon.
Yeah, that's right.
That's the end of that. And I forgot my spoon.
It's a fact. Rainfoil sort.
Because it's a fact.
Purple.
Rainforest soils are poor. Stuff on it for very long. So how did they feed all these people? The answer was they invented a soil, and that soil has a name. It's called.
I mean,
can anybody verify this?
Well,
it's shit. It was there. They used it.
They may have improved it. They may have come up with a way of. I mean, like. Composting.
Well, they might have figured out that
composting is inventing soil.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, are they like in a lab? What does this mean?
Yeah.
Terra Preta. Archaeologists refer to it as Amazonian dark earths or Amazonian black earth. It's a man-made soil. It's thousands of years old. It's full of microbes that are not found in adjoining soil. It's based around biochar.
What is biochar?
Like where people have been doing seasonal burnings or have a history of seasonal burnings.
Biochar.
What it is.
That's sort of what I thought. I was like, I assume it's exactly what it sounds like, but
biochar is a coal-like
I like to ask
material.
When I'm ignorant on a topic.
Biochar is a coal-like material that is produced from plant materials such as grass, agricultural and forest residues that are decomposed at high temperatures, often due to renewable energy production.
Thank you, Brian.
Now, renewable energy production too.
We need to bring Titan in for this portion of the stream so he can talk to us about plants and shit.
Let's do it. It's a standing invitation.
Peter, the secret soil lab of the Amazonian people.
Yup.
God.
I mean, to be fair, if you get like we said, it takes. How long does it take for a building to get hidden in the Amazon? Like 3 weeks.
Right. I mean, and like we know this about our own cities. Like you go on YouTube right now and Google, what happens to New York if all the people, die right now, and it'll show you what'll happen in like 20 years, 50 years, 100 years, 500 years. I mean, in the Amazon, it's got to be ramped up to 1,000 because they were building out of like bio materials and then like plants. I mean, they would take over industrial stuff within 50 to 100 years. So, like, I'm
Yeah,
surprised they found anything at all,
like
honestly, when they went
a
in.
built like a proper skyscraper even would probably just like dissolve and crumble
Yeah.
after a certain number of years because you'd have stuff seep in and the whole thing would just completely rust away and then fall and yeah.
Oxidation would slowly take its toll.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you know, are they thinking about the fact that in the past there might have been a certain type of plant that was in that area that let off something that improved it? Like, there's different ways that could have happened. That doesn't mean that the people did it.
It's like this, that they don't realize that there were crops that these people could have lived off of that didn't require clearing, that thrived more in a denser habitat where that soil was naturally growing. I mean, I'm not saying that
And it could have produced nutrients that were not originally there. Right. Exactly my point.
Look, just ask Joe Rogan. I've been saying this since the beginning. It's like ayahuasca, man. You know.
It's just that's just describing they're just describing the domestication process.
You eat enough of that shit, you'll make some
soil
pretty interesting soil yourself. I swear to God, maybe that's the secret. It's like people doing the ayahuasca thing is like get the runs, and then all of a sudden you get very fertile soil. I don't know. Sorry.
And you can take a handful of 8,000-year-old terra preta and you can add it to barren soil, and that soil will instantly become fertile.
Was the Amazon?
Yeah, you just said 8,000.
8,000-year-old soil.
I think it's an open question.
It is somewhat of an open question, but there have been archaeological finds that pushed back the arrival of people in North America. It was commonly thought it was 12,000 years ago that the first people crossed the Bering Straits and all of this. But there have been archaeological finds that have pushed it back more than 10,000 years.
Yeah.
25 to 30, isn't it?
I think now, it's an open question. It's an open question.
And the other thing is that,
and it may have happened more than once.
It is tracing down DNA and stuff. There were people from Polynesia who came to South America as well.
Okay, they didn't all come down through Bering.
You know, I'm not sure that there was a huge influx of people from Polynesia, but you have to remember, people navigated to all of those islands.
I mean, you got to Hawaii.
Right?
Like Hawaii's in the middle of nowhere.
Easter Island. Got to, and people knew how to get around the Pacific. That culture is really quite amazing. And their techniques of navigation were quite fascinating. It involved.
Did they involve little puffs of smoke coming out the back of the ships?
It didn't involve any puffs of smoke coming out of the backs of the ships. They had multi-marines. They had catamarans, trimarans, that sort of thing. And they used celestial navigation. They used knowing where the stars were, knowing where stars would rise. And so there was a star path. It's like they knew all of this stuff. It was passed on. They didn't have a written language. They passed it on as a trade to people. And they also read waves, the interaction of waves with land and stuff. It's fascinating stuff, the way Polynesia was settled, mostly by people from what is the traditional name of New Zealand? I am such a white chick.
I don't know.
Old white chick, for that matter.
I don't know what the name in Maori is.
But it's mostly those folks. Yeah, people discredit the intelligence of Homo sapiens. I mean, our ancestors, even if they didn't have OBS and and
But it did.
StreamYard and all these other things. They were smart people.
Yeah, but they did have them because the ancient aliens had gave it to them, and then it all
that's
went
right, I
away
forgot.
in the Younger Dryas.
And that actually is another thing that is really discouraging about all of this modern mythology.
Mm-hmm.
That you need to have, it's like you need to have a god to impart wisdom.
Yeah.
You need to have aliens to impart technology. You need to have something outside of the genius of the human imagination to make progress in the world. And that is just God. Why are we teaching our children this?
Exactly. Nobody
teach our kids common sense.
Yeah.
Well, hey, let's teach this kid common sense. Peter clearly has not seen the Joe Rogan bubble blowing ship.
Yeah.
Where would that be at? I don't.
We're gonna have to go all the way back to the beginning. I'm just. I saw that comment, and I was just like, "Oh my god!"
And Graham believes just someone must have been mapping the Earth during the Ice Age that left maps for us all to see just how the planet looked. But what does this also appears on many of these ancient maps? The researcher explained that while conventional information claims that Antarctica was only first discovered in 1820, the continent was actually known to exist much earlier. How early, you ask? Well, how about the 1500s?
During the last Ice Age, one of the things
but they served as inspiration. Most of these maps have now been lost, but they served as inspiration for his books. And Graham believes someone must have been mapping the Earth during the Ice Age that left maps for us all. Most of these maps have now been based his drawings on.
There we go.
Smoke with a boat.
Wait. Damn it. Like these are like fucking mothballs coming out of the back of a car.
Coming out of the back of the boat.
Cotton balls.
It's bubble powered.
What the
In your face.
It runs on a fizzy lifting drink.
I maintain that thing on the side that looks like a Gatling gun to me.
It's a small cannon.
It's not a Gatling gun. It's a small
cannon. Why would you have a small cannon?
I mean,
I'm sorry.
Why would you have a small cannon? You need a big cannon.
Because they have the smaller ones for up top, and the big ones are down beneath.
Why
would anybody supposed to know how big my dick is if we're putting all the small cannons up top?
Well, that's a fair point.
You want all the weight of the cannons and the cannonballs in the bottom of the ship, otherwise it will capsize. So all of the big cannons are down low, and the smaller ones are up top.
Okay. Right. I don't know where we were.
It
was there.
Yeah, about that.
This brought smallpox beyond there. I think we were there.
No. But wait, were we? I don't know where we were. Let's see.
Yeah, we were.
We were at 2011. 2011.
This was exactly where we were at.
Perfect.
This was what was on the screen.
Way to go.
Yeah.
Yep.
Strong work.
Sought after in the Amazon, and it explains how they fed these people.
So the discovery of Terra Preta has basically shown us two things. The first is the fact that the oldest Amazonians were actually able to feed themselves, despite being pretty large.
If they were unable to acquire food, they would be dead.
They would be dead. Indeed, they would. That is one thing I think we can all agree on.
Well, that's one reason they might not be there anymore.
You could have just said survived, and that would have been enough.
Like it's literally like the one thing that almost anybody can do after a certain age, at least.
Large in number. However, the second and perhaps most important is the fact that these people were so advanced and smart that they were literally able to manipulate their environment to create something artificially. Boy, you just imagine the stories these people would have been able to tell if they were still alive today. And if they were smart enough to create their own soil, who knows what other insane stuff they might have created.
Create their own soil. Anybody gonna make another poop joke? Or
yeah, right? I'm just like
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, as someone who is a forced vegan, and I mean no animal byproducts, you do poop more. Just saying, all that fiber, you will poop more.
Good to know.
in the past. A cloaking device, maybe. I'm just saying.
I've got more elephants to go in the room.
A cloaking device, maybe. He's just saying. I don't.
These
That's
fucking
called
people,
camouflage. You take
Jesus.
the leaves and you stick them all over your body. It's a cloaking device.
Really? Are you fucking kidding me?
It's
Oh my god.
And now we're going back to the oh, by the way, that entire digression that took like the last 10 minutes. What did that have to do with the Antarctica?
I have
I don't
no
know.
idea.
Aliens?
Nothing. They were talking about the
I think it was-
Amazon.
Yeah, I think it was just like more aliens. I
They
don't know.
didn't actually make the alien argument.
And the
fair.
aliens didn't show up.
Yeah, they didn't
It's
show up in
kinda
the
weird.
Amazon argument. Like it was just it was
Well,
like
you
they
have to see what the footprint of aliens so that you can cross correlate. Like, well, we saw aliens here clearly, so therefore aliens there. Because
You guys want to hear something crazy?
what you
My
mean
brother
besides
said
the whole
he
stream?
thinks that
Doing that for the past
Oh
21
no,
years.
watch this. My brother thinks that the pyramids are for the spaceships to land on,
Oh,
like
I've
a
heard
docking
that.
station.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing.
You know, I love you dearly, and I do enjoy Richard, but he's got some pretty interesting ideas.
Oh,
I won't
my, here
comment
we
about how
are.
I feel about him these days. We'll move on from that.
Yeah,
I've already made my feelings known. So yeah, moving on. Aliens.
I didn't know about this. We will
About
have
what?
to talk more.
About aliens?
No, about
Talk afterwards.
Yes.
We'll talk after.
later.
Oh,
Antarctica's
yeah, totally unrelated thing, not about aliens.
Clearly a pyramid, right?
Yeah,
He believes in
Antarctica,
aliens.
Absolutely.
Antarctica's pyramids and the Egyptians.
Oh yeah, because
Yeah, naturally.
I mean,
I mean
at
this
least they're
looks
not
just
talking about white
like
people.
the rise of Khufu. I mean,
But
just
by
like-
the
This
way,
is
I just
actually, if you look at it, it's actually a goose.
that tracks.
What?
wait, Free, you're gonna have to leave me. You're gonna have to walk me through this one.
Oh, y'all don't remember?
Goose?
Y'all don't
Four-sided
remember Roger-
paleo.
You all don't remember Roger's video with the rock that was the goose head, the shape like that? He said it was a goose head.
Yeah.
I don't remember that one off the top of my head.
I don't know.
I've seen. The problem with watching Roger's stuff is it kills brain cells.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But
Facts.
all right, we got this. We got this thing that looks like a mountain to me.
Kinda, yeah.
Pyramids and the Egyptians. Back to the subject of Antarctica. The accounts of Admiral Byrd haven't been the only things to point us to a possible alien civilization that might have settled.
Again,
Oh
this is
my
literally a clip from Alien versus Predator. I feel like.
I feel like
No,
you're right.
this actually happened. This
Look
is
at there's predators standing
this
right
is
there.
a documentary. Why would they put fake pictures in a documentary?
Yeah.
So we circled all the way back to Alien versus Predator. See how that works?
Yeah.
Well, it was never very far away. Let's put it that way.
There. In
Remember
2016,
this,
satellites
keep an eye
roaming over the Antarctic region picked up something rather strange. In Antarctica, there seemed to have been a weird shape peeking out from the ice. While the structure was still covered in ice, its head had managed to come out.
Its head managed to come out.
And as the ice was melting, more of it was on display for the world to
I would
see.
have called it peak.
Although the region
Yeah, indeed. It is remarkably like
Flat.
flat, exactly, and it is
Isn't it-
atypical and impressive in that way, but it's
Doesn't it
But
only have
also,
three
if you
sides?
watch that video,
Earlier,
they
if
show
you'd
the
ever hiked
wind.
Todd.
Whoa.
They
One
show
at
the
a
wind shearing in several different directions.
that is the opposite of one at a time.
That looks just like the knife edge.
okay.
Like a
Yeah.
Todd.
Beck,
But-
what were you? Whoa, hey, Beck, what were you saying?
What?
What were you
I was
saying?
saying that if you watched part of that video when the wind was moving and the snow was moving, you could see it was moving in different directions.
Okay.
Like there's a little vortex right there, and that's why that thing was created. That's what I think happened. If you look at the way the wind goes, because the snow's going off each peak in a different direction, which means it's hitting that and causing that in four different directions. Apparently, maybe it's just where it's at in Antarctica.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Thoughts? No.
Is this a three-sided pyramid?
It's not clear. It's not totally clear. So for instance, this image here, you can't tell
At all.
Yeah, because like the wind seems to mostly go, I think, in that direction.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's
Yes. The prevailing wind is from here.
yeah, and so it's doing that.
And,
so
and you would expect
see how it's swooping
you would
around
expect this kind of erosion,
yeah,
but through wind,
Yes.
You would expect that. If
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I would have to guess. Let me see.
And we need to remember, if that's been there for a long time, that could have originally been eroded by water.
mm-hmm.
True.
Yeah,
And ice, of course, is
yeah. The freeze thaw
You know,
cycle.
Absolutely.
ice moves.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it
Well,
will
yeah,
it will
it's-
crack rock and change its form. Yes.
But would you guys agree with me though? This, if it is a four-sided pyramid, it's not a particularly square one. It's at best rectangular, and I think it looks like a parallelogram that with non
Yes.
right angles. Personally,
Yeah, it is not pyramid shaped the way it is in Egypt and the Mayan and all that.
This
It's
area
nothing like
here
that.
is clearly a hollow.
Yeah,
It is a hollow.
There's a hollow right there.
I think there's one on the other side too.
Yep.
I think it's more of a
Could be.
three-sided, like a star.
But we are all wrong,
Mhm.
and it's aliens.
It's alien.
The ice.
Aliens.
While the structure was still covered in ice, its head had managed to come out, and as the ice was melting, more of it was on display for the world to see. Although the region wasn't easy to reach, scientists believe that the structure must have been a man-made pyramid that was created at least 1,000.
Is this the image that you want to show when describing a man-made pyramid?
I don't think so.
That doesn't look man-made at all. It looks like every
There-
freaking
these-
mountain in Colorado.
Yeah.
These features are literally carved by glaciers. These are literally glacial.
Yeah, these ones right there, right?
Yeah,
That looks like a logo for a movie company.
and I can't
It
remember.
does. This looks like the
don't-
mountain in the Paramount Pictures thing.
I don't
Probably
remember.
is.
It is. I think it is. No,
I
swear
mean,
to
because
God,
like, you know, when you're
right.
trying to put forth a documentary, why not go for the first mountain you see in the Google search?
If this
Yep.
if this clip played just a little longer, you'd see the Paramount symbol coming around in front.
And all those shooting stars, those are the aliens, you guys.
Yeah.
Oh, they've been
Yeah.
telling us all this time.
Oh my God. Paramount is manned by aliens. They are the
That's what
Illuminati. They're the
happened.
Hollywood elite that are trying
Created by
to
two
woke
Romans.
us into oblivion.
Yep.
God damn
That's
it.
what happened. Paramount made that symbol, and when it went over top of the mountain, people thought it was a god. That's what happened.
Mhm.
And you know
Let's
what?
worship it.
And you guys know what movie that Paramount also produced?
Birth of a
Conehead.
Nation.
Coneheads.
Coneheads,
I did not know
yeah,
that.
I forgot. Yes, they did.
Just saying.
Just saying.
There you go.
Yep.
And other
Nothing to do
silly
with
movies
anything.
too.
It's all coming
Total
together.
coincidence.
New
Of years ago,
conspiracy theory.
it immediately caused arguments in the scientific community. Many immediately shared
I
their
don't
belief
think
that
so.
the pyramids were proof of an entire civilization that lived in Antarctica long before
Inside,
anyone
there are 90
else knew
people
it.
saying you must be
Scientists are still trying to gather more.
Others say there are 5 going.
What was that? Sorry.
The arguments were like 99 people telling one person, "You must be fucking kidding me."
Yes, right? No. I'm like, oh. They have that expression on their face. Like this guy is
Yeah,
like,
there you go.
like,
It's
he's-
like, what?
he's like, what is happening?
What the fuck?
Like, what are you talking about? That's not even science, bro.
Oh.
Or evidence, so it's still difficult to.
This is the least compelling picture that they've shown so far. Like that.
It's the very top
What?
of it.
I'm convinced.
This could be a rock smaller than my body.
On the ground, yes. It could
What I need a banana for scale, right? And I have none.
$1 bill, damn it. $1 bill.
You don't see
You know
the banana?
exactly what size it is.
Yeah.
These
I'm like $1,000,000 bills.
You're not
Right
looking
over there.
close enough to see the banana. You gotta look
Right
harder.
there, right? Yeah.
Say, but the closer you look, the more you see. A year after the pyramid was found, a team of scientists at the Alfred Wegener Institute for Polar and Marine Research in Germany traveled to the cold continent to learn more about it. They collected core samples from deep within Antarctica's sea floor, hoping to find more information about the continent. And the logical team essentially found that it's possible Antarctica was more habitable in its earlier times. And while the continent is pretty much a frozen wasteland,
I mean, it's hard to go less habitable, right?
It really is.
I mean, that's why I gasped like
It
that.
is literally a frozen desert.
I was like, more habitable. So, like, one person lived there?
Yeah, I mean, as I like to say, in this case, the bar is subterranean. It's not easy to get over it.
So are
Like,
the
literally,
animals.
they just said the only people on that continent are fucking shit.
Scientists, yeah.
Scientists, yeah.
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 Yeah, I mean that is the truth. I mean, we don't get a lot of that here, but that one
There's the
was.
ice cube experiment. There's all sorts of scientific experiments going on.
Quick, somebody write that down. That was truth.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
and at this point it might have been a thriving area where a civilization once settled. The discovery of the pyramid is
Wait a minute, go back.
well as the
Because
area
Watch
where a
this. Yeah,
civilization
yeah.
once settled.
all right.
Are you fucking kidding me? Is what
I
this
mean,
guy's
okay,
saying.
okay,
What
so
the fuck are you
wait.
talking about?
Antarctica
Proof.
used to be part of like Gondwana land, right? Which is like fucking like 30 million years ago or some shit. Bree, you're my resident.
What
like,
kind of land was it?
fact
I
shit.
don't remember.
Gondwana land.
Gondwana land was that? Yeah, that was a really long time ago, though. You're talking
Right.
Well, Pangea was the last one, and then I think Rodinia was the one before that.
Yeah, in between
Yeah, but
Pangea,
like we're talking about like tens of millions.
yes,
I have to look this up.
hundreds of millions, even.
Years ago, right?
hundreds of
And
millions.
so, like, are we talking about like civilizations of dinosaurs? Like, wouldn't like,
I mean,
civilization? No, the claimant.
we'll ask Dapper. We can ask
civilizations
Dapper.
could have lived
Reptilians.
here. Reptilians. Oh my god. You know what? I totally forgot.
But the reptilians are ruling in Washington D.C., as we all know. So
Yeah.
No, from underground though. The what do you call it? Admiral Byrd flew in. Was it North Pole or South Pole? Somebody, Bree, help me out. Did he fly in the
Admiral
North Pole?
Byrd flew over
The Earth
both.
is a torus, so they meet at the center.
No,
he
they're
has-
brown
he-
people at at all the centers, so that
That's the
can't be
outside
right.
center. This is the inside center where the light doesn't
So-
get, and that's why it's so
Oh,
cold.
right. Yeah, no,
Confused.
but like you have to get into the inner Earth from the poles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, is this thing full? All right, so yeah, okay.
Hang on.
You have to get into the inner Earth from either the North Pole or the South Pole, and that's where the white people let you into Whitelandia.
Whitelandia.
And they dance.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
Oh,
who
if
told
if
Maya
white
about
people weren't
Whitelandia?
such bigoted assholes, I'd be offended. But I can't.
Guys,
Go ahead,
guys,
Weasel.
who told Maya about Whitelandia?
Admiral Byrd.
I don't know.
Diary.
Black people aren't supposed to know.
Yeah.
God
Okay.
damn it.
I mean, we're gonna have to have a meeting after this.
Seriously. God,
Look, I
Damn it.
like living. I will forget.
I
Yeah.
like living. I will forget. I never saw your face.
I'm telling you, this guy right here,
Right?
this guy right here,
Maya,
He's-
I love you.
He's grumpy.
he's just going
Really not
off.
from
fuck's
Whitelandia. He's not nearly blonde enough, and those are not blue eyes. I'm sorry.
Nope.
I
Nope. He looks too Scottish.
blackface.
And those tusks are, I'm pretty sure, 100% paper mache.
Yeah.
Well, it does say right here, Hollywood tube. So I think you might be right.
Brian.
Speculation.
Yes, Brian.
Best.
Yes, Brian.
Oh yeah.
No shit. Hey, good one. Yeah, there we go. That's probably it.
Well, I didn't mean that one. That was a good one, but I meant the one below it.
All right.
The discovery
wait,
of
I
the
love this
pyramid as well
comment.
as the account.
Me too. That's why I pointed it out. It's great.
sorry.
It's so
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
No, Brian, you got to let the black people in. Who's going to do DeSantis's laundry?
Yeah, who's going to mind the fields?
Make me sick.
That'd
Anyways,
be the
move on.
Chinese. Come on.
Don't get me
So I guess
started. Oh my God.
I guess it is a four-sided pyramid,
Whatever.
but
Well,
it's.
that
I
one-
mean, it is, but two sides are very concave and full of snow.
No, it's
so it's
one
not
of
a true pyramid.
it's just one of the
concave
many
on two sides.
pyramids. That one happens to be four-sided. We saw a three-sided one, and we saw a two-sided one not too long ago.
And of course, the fabled round pyramid.
I'd like to point out that this square is oriented to this axis, right? Is this on an axis?
No,
Negative.
No.
Is this on an axis? Negative. Is that on an axis?
No. Yeah.
Negative.
Like I said, it's not a true pyramid.
You know,
Just
so it's like,
eroded, guys, from the Arctic
they were
wind.
okay. So I'm going to do the apologetics here and say the aliens were fucking hammered on ayahuasca that they gotten in the Amazon before they went to the Antarctica to build this fucking pyramid.
And they were like,
did it while they were tripping balls, right?
You know, this is a good point.
It's
Funny
close
how-
enough.
Funny how that pyramid's point isn't in the center of the top. It's almost like the
There's
ancient
that other.
aliens.
Well, that could be
perspective. Yeah, it could be, but
Look, no, it's axiomatic. Look,
Verifiably,
he verified it with it's 2 kilometers all around.
Yeah,
So
but that's not a total over top view.
So you're saying it's
more
more
from
than
the
2
side. You
kilometers.
can tell we're not over top of it.
fucking.
I don't know. I think
an
the
angled
ancient
shot.
aliens are stupid.
yeah,
But aliens still.
that's why they're not around
Aliens.
anymore.
Yeah, definitely aliens.
Mm.
Had to be.
No,
Counts
they
from
are
Admiral.
white overlords that live in the center of the earth.
You're not supposed to know about
They are
that.
very,
Yeah.
very pale. They're actually white.
You know what? It is really
You can't
hard
see them. There's thousands of them in this
to remain
picture.
my
but you
chill
can't see them.
status while drinking enough wine to get through this video.
You know when they ask you
almost
your
made
race,
it.
I click other and put lightly tanned.
We have
I'm darkly tan.
very little time to go here.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's
Okay.
go
I'd
through it.
essentially give
perfectly
some
taken.
Get through
credence
it.
to people who believe in two theories. One, that aliens lived in Antarctica, and two, that aliens actually built the pyramids
Look at this
in
fucker
Egypt.
story here.
Okay, so think about it. To date, no one knows how the pyramids in Egypt were constructed. I mean, we know the Egyptian Empire was powerful.
This is from fucking.
They had like
I don't
50
know
million
what you-
slaves. That's how it was built.
They weren't technically slaves, but yeah, your point. They
Well,
were-
no,
they were
you're right. You're
laborers.
right. The majority of them were not. There was some slaves that
Yeah.
they had to, they owed people or whatever, and they had to work.
Mhm.
But you're right. Most of them were not slaves.
This sort of guy is like 10 Commandments crap. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And had a lot of labor, but it still doesn't explain some of the
Ten
crazy
Commandments.
structures that
10
those
Commandments.
pyramids housed. When you consider that these people were from a time when there was little
What do you mean, these people?
Oh my
in the
god.
form of technological
Yeah.
advancement,
Fucking racist.
Right.
The Egyptians. What one walks like.
it's
Fucking
easy to
fucking
question how
cracker.
those pyramids were built. But it hasn't stopped people from hypothesizing that they were erected by an advanced alien race that made contact with the ancient
hypothesizing?
Egyptians. For
This
further
is like-
proof of this,
This is Stargate. You know that other documentary, Stargate.
Wait,
Stargate
This is a
SG-9.
discovery. Why is he talking about
SG-1.
hypothesizing?
They
It's-
forgot how they started the
Guilty.
sentence.
It was sudden. It was sudden right there. It's a sudden.
Oh yeah, the sudden discovery.
Sudden discovery.
I mean, yeah.
consider the pharaoh's medallion. Discovered years back, the medallion is thought to have been the personal property of Akhenaten, one of the most popular pharaohs in Egyptian history. Akhenaten
Never heard of him.
instituted the work.
Yeah, me neither.
Again, a little.
But yet he's
tiny
most popular.
A
No.
little tiny truth here. Akhenaten
Damn babies look like aliens.
caused all sorts.
That's
Caused
what I'm
all sorts
saying.
of. For those of you who don't know, Akhenaten caused all sorts of shit in ancient Egypt because he had a spat with the priests, and he instituted. He was pharaoh, and he instituted the worship of, rather than Ra, who was the sun god, he introduced the worship of Aton as the sole god, and Aton was the disk of the sun.
Oh,
Was okay. So
that's stupid.
and he
Go ahead.
took the name. I think his original name was Amenhotep. And
Oh, I know. Yeah, Amenhotep. Yeah, okay, I know that name.
Right. So he took the name Akhenaten, meaning follower of the Aten, and it was for the longest time it was, this is the first incidence of monotheism in ancient culture.
Yeah.
Which is
because
so like kind of like Khalil Allah.
Yeah, no, but like
Same
these
meaning.
are people who worship many gods, and he was like, "Fuck your gods, just this god." And
there's
then
just this one,
right? And then he
and this is
disappeared from history.
what's shown here is the disk of the sun and the rays emanating from it.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a thing, but the Theban caste, the priestly class, had its revenge, got rid of him, put his son Tutankhamun on the throne. We all know King Tut, right?
Yeah, King
and
Tut.
He had a very short career, but eventually they erased the guy's name on every monument he built. He built a city. He built a city as the replacement for Thebes, and the city itself was abandoned and fell into complete disrepair.
Got covered by sand.
And I can't remember the name of the city, but it's part of a thing.
I just want to point out that the babies look like aliens in this.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just you. According to a lot of people, they actually are aliens, and
that's where babies come from, as Peter pointed out. Yeah.
They're baby aliens.
Worship of the sun god Aten during his rule. This guy was so devoted that he changed his name from Amenhotep IV to Akhenaten. Pretty hardcore, isn't it? Well, when the pharaoh's medallion was eventually found, eagle-eyed.
I mean, how many people in this show right now have changed their names? Pretty hardcore.
On YouTube?
I'm gonna change my name to Akhenaten too. I'm going to now.
I've changed my name on YouTube 6 times and once in real life.
Yeah, no, I have multiple sock puppet accounts. It's my army of weasel sock puppet accounts.
Observers quickly noted something strange. The medallion apparently depicted an alien right on top of it. There have been a lot of arguments over this medallion.
Oh yes, and look at that.
Don't you think they're alien babies
and all that other bullshit?
How else do you get the alien medallion if you're not the alien baby?
That couldn't possibly be a representation of the sun in any way, shape, or form. Yeah.
No.
You were going to anthropomorphize the sun.
It's totally a baby alien. Like
it looks like this.
This is not the first stream for any of you.
Look at that. It's got stigmata.
It does. Look at, it must be Jesus. It's
No, it's alien. It's alien.
Jesus was an alien.
This might be the smaller elephant in the room.
Yeah.
Okay, so God is outside of time and space.
As opposed to
if you were to come in, that would make him an alien.
Great big huge elephant.
Some claim that it only depicts Akhenaten worshipping the sun god. But how do you explain the sun god looking so much like an alien? Could it be that the pharaoh had met an alien and made a medallion to commemorate that fact? Even more, what if this alien was among the ones who inspired the construction of the pyramids? And what if there was an alien race that had settled in Antarctica and built pyramids like the one found in 2016? The Antarctica pyramid is said to be older than the ones in Egypt, so this definitely tracks. It's a long stretch to make, but hey, if there's anything we've all come to learn in this world, it's that nothing is ever impossible. There are several forms of evidence that seemingly claim that the world played.
Speculation is a form of evidence.
Lousy evidence, but
So
I don't even know if I can co-sign.
Host to an advanced civilization that existed long before recorded history began, and all we really have are the questions that
Stargate.
Yeah,
it is. It's just
can be asked. What do you think, though?
know,
Are
those
we
look like
really
predators
looking
on
at
the right.
advanced civilizations? Did
That looks
aliens
like a
really make
sci-fi movie,
contact with
too.
our planet?
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments.
All right. Yeah. Feel free to go to the comments and
oh man,
state
Real
your
quick,
opinion.
purple rhymes with orange. Congratulations. I'm glad you're getting your name change.
yay!
Yes.
Look at the feature here, and look at what they're.
it's a giant. They found Goliath.
What they discovered in the ice. Terrified, Elon Musk. China's terrifying new discovery. It's like all these fuckwits want to do is terrify people. And
Well, that's what they
fairness.
do with religion. That's how they control people's stuff.
because I know that's what I'm getting at, Beck. You're absolutely right. It's like once you push people into a position of abandoning reason because of terror, because of fear, because of
Religion.
misunderstanding.
That's how January 6th
That's
happens.
how this bullshit occurs. And it's quite serious.
Yeah, that's how January 6th happens.
That's how all this bullshit happens.
It's how Nazis happen.
Yeah.
You know what I call them? 100s.
100.
That's my new term. I'm so sick of all the 100s. They can just go away.
I don't follow.
This.
I'm just done with them, man. They get me fired and shit all the time.
Oh, well, that's fucked up.
Oh, is it an IQ joke?
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, it's not a joke. I'm serious. They're 100
Yeah, no.
IQs.
Yeah,
And when
Oh,
someone
yeah,
that's smarter than them comes in, they get scared and they're fear for their job. I literally told a guy, I don't want your job. If I wanted your job, I'd apply for it. He still got me fired.
Oh my God.
And I busted my ass and did some of his work every day. But he got me fired because there was an inspection report he did that I didn't know was done. And I went and did the same inspection on the same 5 apartments or 6 apartments, whatever it was. And all my inspection found all the problems and his said everything was fine. Well, I didn't know he had done one. So then he was pissed at me and that was it. And he wouldn't even come into work on my last week of work there. I put in my 2 weeks notice. He wouldn't come into work. I had to leave. So he'd come to work.
Wow.
He was a fucking supervising manager.
That's
Okay.
I'm a 100. Anyways.
I'm sorry that happened to you.
yeah.
But that's what happened. That's the kind of people that believe this shit. They're 100s. They're not smart enough to go fucking research it. They think if someone tells it to them that by God, it's the fucking truth.
Wait, what happened? Did Stephanie not able to take the video? Did she jump the fuck overboard?
I think she might have gone to get another drink.
Oh no, yeah, salute.
She's
Don't
hanging her ass
watch
over the
this
side
shit
taking a
sober.
piss right now.
I have to drive back home after this, so unfortunately, I had to do all of that totally sober.
I'm sorry, buddy.
You're not talking like 3,000 miles across the country, right?
How far do you have to drive?
It's a little under 2 hours.
Oh, that's not bad. I didn't know you were
It's
that
not so bad.
close. Nice.
No, it's well.
Whoa, Beck. It's almost midnight here.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So.
Yeah, I'm gonna fall asleep here shortly.
Yeah, okay, Bree.
I'm gonna ask you a question, Bree, really quick.
Right away.
And then we'll do who are you, where are you? Sorry, Maya, for cutting you off. Are those like jellyfish behind you in like a
Yeah, they're not real though.
lamp?
Oh, you mean those?
Can
Yeah.
you get real jellyfish?
Yeah, can you do that? Can you get real jellyfish and put them in the
And have them multi change color?
I don't know.
It's
There
fish
are people
jellyfish.
there are people who get real jellyfish, but
Yeah,
it
can you
takes
do
it
that?
takes a lot of care. I think they need more space than that.
Well, saltwater, anything is just a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've known a lot of people with saltwater tanks, and it's a lot of work. Hey, KCA, what's up, buddy?
But yes, we have gone 15 minutes over. So
Oh yeah, because
No.
we don't know how to do shit, and I've been drinking way too much wine. I was like half a bottle just to get through this thing. I'm like, oh my god. So all right, Bree. Get everybody out of here so they can like sleep and drive and be fully functional adults. Bree, who are you? Where are you? And what do you have coming up this week?
Hi, I'm Bree. I'm from Hive Science, and I have a channel called Hive Science that I talk about cryptozoology and all kinds of creationist nonsense, and teach a little bit of science along the way. So if that sounds interesting to you, I definitely swing by the Hive, especially on Saturday morning when we do our live from the Hive show.
Woo,
It's
up to
great.
Bree.
Woo!
At Hivesci, HIVESISCI.
It's CI,
Yeah.
all one
I
word.
can spell
Yep.
when I'm sober enough to, do the things. Steph, Tap, who are you? Where are you? And what do you have coming up?
I am Tapiocaweasel, and I have no content on my own channel, which people keep on criticizing me for. But I appear on other people's channels somewhat frequently. It sounds like I'm going to be showing up on Neil's show,
Which is awesome.
Yep. And I did a stream recently with Paleologos, who was in chat, and I think I'm going to be doing more with him.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, I learned a lot about how people don't know how pelvises work.
Yeah, I learned a whole bunch about stuff and shit. So
And he
way to
got
go.
it. He got it wrong. Peter corrected him, and then he continued to get it just as wrong.
Yeah, yeah.
It's really
That's
astonishing.
awesome.
Like
Yeah,
a grifter.
yeah, it was great. We did
Consistency.
we did like a
Go
2-hour
for
stream, but
consistency.
yeah,
Right.
but now it's your turn, Steph.
All right. I'm Stephanie Helms. I'm a sailmaker, and that's what I'll be doing this week for the most part. Sailor, sailmaker, and all around pain in the ass. Spoke on a couple of subjects recently on my channel, Steffi Cath, which is, it says general musings, and that's pretty much it. I wish I didn't, but I do talk about a lot about trans issues, being as I've been dealing with them for 25 years since transition, and a whole bunch of people are somewhat new to the game as trans people, and a whole bunch of cis people just never even fucking thought about us back in the day, or when they did, it was, oh, that's odd, okay, whatever. And now it's become a big fucking thing, and everybody has to dip their wick in the whole thing. I'm really fucking sick of it. I am really fucking sick of it.
Yeah, I am too.
I get on that tip. I get on that tip. It's just kind of a thing because everybody's on that tip, and I'm only doing it out of self-defense. At this
Absolutely.
point, maybe I should
Agreed.
just keep my fucking mouth shut.
No.
But anyway, somebody
we like it when you do those streams. Trust me.
Oh man.
Somebody said Stephanie was drowning, so
Because you disappeared.
Weasel with me. Bye.
I know.
Never fear. Like Jeebus.
She's pulling Weasel down with her. I know it.
I know. Whoa. They're resurrected. Oh, holy shit. Steph is Jesus. She resurrected herself and brought a friend.
And Weasel.
And
I'm here for that.
Weasel's like Lazarus now.
Yeah, I am.
I'm just fucking learning this crazy shit because my computer died, and that was a pain in the ass. Aside from my computer, what I do work on and shit, died. But it's so I needed to get a newer computer which is already like, you can't upgrade this to Windows 11, you know. Yeah, that's why we're selling it for $150. It's like, no shit. But it can do a whole bunch of other shit. And among
Got a lot
other
of memory space in it. Yeah.
it can do all that. It can do kind of fun stuff that is fun, but it's also a huge time suck, and I need to get over it.
Oh my god. Well,
You'll
all
get
hell
sick of
holy
playing with it
stuff.
after a while. Sorry, Maya.
But anyway,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
channel is Steffi Cath, and I'd appreciate any help. Anybody like, subscribe, all that bullshit, and throw some coin my way if you can, because it's been tough recently.
I know we couldn't get the whiteboard, but
I
all
know.
again, all hell holy stuff. Whiteboard will be back, I
I
think,
have
next
a
week.
fucking whiteboard. I have a fucking whiteboard and markers right outside the door.
Well, okay. To be fair, I
Yeah,
feel
it's a little.
I'm
claustrophobic
speechless.
here.
I'm like, next time, California and Maine get together. Maybe we
There
could
we
do
go.
this.
Hey, Tap, you're back next week, right?
Yes.
All right. I mean, back at home, and
Yeah,
we get the holy whiteboard, and Steph will bring out the holy
Mhm.
feather. Maybe the
Mhm.
holy bagel will make an appearance. Who knows?
And I'll make sure to have the holy wax.
Smallest elephant.
Is it
There
gonna
we
be
go.
time for some Hans Worm hat, guys?
Yes. Next week, can we do Hans Worm Hat next week? Yes.
Perhaps.
I've been looking forward to this. This has been, yes.
Well, Bree is supposed to do a thing with the new thing and thingy thing.
Really?
Great.
What was the thing?
Sounds
Tap.
like a cool thing to.
What was the thing? Bree is supposed to. There's a guy who thinks that animals are not real.
That's Hans Worm hat.
That's Hans Worm Hat.
Oh, that
yeah,
is Hans. Okay.
that is Hans Worm Hat. Yeah.
All right. Yes. Then that's what we're gonna do. Maybe some bingo.
He's
Who
the
knows?
cannibal guy. Oh, I've been looking forward to it. Oh, so much fun.
Beck, do you have anything coming up?
Not as of yet, but I've been wanting to start streaming again here soon, so watch for that.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I'll come and harass all you guys to come on.
All right. Well, if you ever want to do a anti-Nazi stream, I'm here for you.
Oh, I'm always for that. And I want to say real quick before we end this, not only is Maya great, but these three people up top are amazing too. So if you're not sub to them, you're crazy. You're fucking crazy. Bree puts out great content and hilarious, and Steph is such an advocate, and Weasel is just brilliant. So if you guys aren't subbed to them, you're stupid. Just saying.
No, yeah,
You don't get anything.
absolutely.
From
And we here are a trans-friendly stream. We advocate for all human rights. So if you have a problem with any human being, get the fuck out. Also, apparently I duped 4 more people into subbing to my stream, and I don't know how that happened. But if
my god!
I know, right? I'm at
Whoa!
194, and I was like, "Whoa, how'd that happen?" But if I get to 200 open stream, and Beck, you know how much I hate open streams, but I will open stream for the people who you guys were there for me. I will be here for you. Find 6 of your friends, and we will totally open stream. You can say anything you want that is not
bigoted or hateful.
Yeah.
Just it's the same rule I have on my channel, guys. Don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick. It's
not
that hard. Even
simple.
if you don't believe that trans rights are human rights, you don't have to go into the stream when you're modded and say dumbass bullshit like there are only 2 genders. I mean, it's just uncouth.
Yeah, I mean, I don't walk up to cishet men and ask them, if they're mad because they have a small penis. I don't do that.
I mean, you just assume they are because they have a truck.
Yeah,
I gotta say,
big tires jacked up.
As someone who moderates a number of, and thankfully some people trust me in this. Chat's not the place to have an argument. I mean, have more respect for the people that are providing the content, who are opening the channel. Sometimes it's an open room. Sometimes it's just honest things that people are just want to get off their chest one way or another. And Sorry, Beck, but hey.
Oh no, I took them right off my chest. I have no problem.
Yeah, I know. But what I'm saying, chat's not the place. Chat's not the place to push your agenda or to engage with people and have a debate and essentially take over the show. You start doing that bullshit. The mods are gonna say, "Hey, stop." Okay.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, I mean, if you guys want to have if anybody wants to have a conversation
and mods and why they exist.
Just saying.
I will say, as far as my end goes in my channel, this is how I handle it. As long as you come at me respectfully and ask the questions respectfully, I will answer anything. I don't give a fuck. Sure. I have nothing to hide. Life's too short to not be totally honest. So I will talk to anybody, but if you come at me like a dickhead, I will cancel you in this community. I can.
He's done
I've done it, and I'll do it again.
I'm not going to be a dickhead, but I am going to go to bed, guys. Because I'm.
All right, no, we're all going to go. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to end the stream, and we're all going to wait. Bye. Bye.